huge success rate. At Genesis, we accept most major insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. Please stop hurting and call me. 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922 or online at genesisback.com.
Hi, I'm Larry Patterson, owner of Glass Doctor. In our disposable society, we're conditioned to throw out the whole thing when just one part goes bad. Like when the insulated glass windows in your home get condensation between the panes. You don't need to replace the whole window. The specialists at Glass Doctor can install new insulated glass in your existing frames with a lifetime warranty for a lot less than you might think. To see how quick and easy it is, visit glassdoctor.com today. That's glassdoctor.com.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah!
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. The United Nations body that oversees greenhouse gas reductions is reeling from another cap-and-trade scandal that may have put 600 million tons of carbon emissions into the atmosphere and apparently did so as a part of a conspiracy. Yeah. Apparently, the emissions were ostensibly suppressed according to an independent study. In other words, what they did is the fraudsters in Russia and the Ukraine were able to transfer credits for more than 400 million tons of their apparently bogus greenhouse savings by April 2015 into Europe's commercial carbon trading system, the largest in the world, thereby undermining the continent's ambitious carbon reduction achievements. In other words, what they did is they claimed 400 tons of carbon credits while dumping 600 million tons of carbon emissions into the atmosphere. And of course, Europe's commercial carbon trading system, their cap and trade system, the people behind it are just shocked that there would be any kind of fraud involved in this terribly important life's work of reducing carbon in the atmosphere. That's right, because carbon causes plant life or something. This is the Wells Report.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis for my friends at Viascan of Las Colinas. We're always concerned about heart disease and cancer, and we should be. You ever hear those stories about the first sign that somebody had of heart problems when they died of a heart attack? The first evidence of any kind of cancer was after it was too big to be operable. Early detection is everything. Information is power, and honestly, sometimes information is survival. This is what Viascan of Las Colinas is all about. Viascan of Las Colinas. My friend John Duncan and the gang with the body scan, the well-view scan, they call it, all the vital organs there between the shoulder and the pelvis, making sure there's no heart plaques or blockages, no little cancer spots that could rise up and take you down. This is affordable, preventive healthcare. It is not uncomfortable. It is not claustrophobic. It's fantastic. I love it, and I love the information. It's good to know what's going on inside your body. Be Viascan certain. 972-739-2840. 972-739-2840, or just Google Viascan.
I was coming out of the hardware store when I saw him. An old man, late 70s, hunched over in the freezing rain, no hat on his head, limping across that slippery parking lot and pushing a row of shopping carts toward the cart corral. It's heartbreaking. Millions of hardworking Americans simply don't have enough money to retire, so they just keep working and working and working until it's too late. Hi, I'm Chad Stubbs, President and CEO of Power Trader, and I believe that's just plain wrong. That's why I'm now distributing to the public absolutely free trials of the Power Trader Edge, the easy-to-use online stock trading program that helps regular folks make the money they need to retire fast. For your free trial, call 1-800-500-4744. Don't let the lack of money rob you of your retirement. Be one of the first 100 callers right now and get your free trial before it's too late. 1-800-500-4744. Don't miss out. Call now. 1-800-500-4744. 1-800-500-4744.
When your children ask about the origins of the earth, where will they get their answers? Join us for the free seminar series Connection Creation Basics on Wednesday nights at 6:30 from September 30th through November 18th at Prestonwood Baptist Church in Plano. Learn how science confirms biblical creation from nationally known scientists from the Institute for Creation Research. For more information, call 972-820-5236. That's 972-820-5236.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carmen Roberts. An apology from Hillary.
That was a mistake. I'm sorry about that. I take responsibility. And I'm trying to be as transparent as I possibly can.
Hillary Clinton speaking to ABC News. Until now, Clinton had refused to apologize for using a private email while Secretary of State. The White House says it's actively considering ways to be more responsive to the migrant crisis as thousands remain trapped in Hungary.
This is not a way to treat refugees. What's our fault that our country has war? What's our fault? What's our fault that our country has war? We have a problem. I'm not happy to leave my home and to come here to be treated like an animal.
Ali, a Syrian refugee, and a snow day with 90-degree temperatures. That's what kids at a Keyport, New Jersey school got when an electrical problem forced the school to cancel classes and send them home. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
It's Baylor Bears football right here on 660 AM The Answer. Join John Morris and JJ Joe as they bring you every bone-jarring hit and sensational touchdown as the Bears compete for the Big 12 title. Tune in this Saturday as the Baylor Bears take on the Lamar Cardinals with the pregame at 6 p.m. and the kickoff at 6:30 right here on 660 AM The Answer.
There was a lot to love about your timeshare. Now that it's time to get out, there's a lot to love about ResortRelease.com. ResortRelease.com helps timeshare owners terminate their contracts and end all future payments, guaranteed. If you've tried to sell your timeshare, you know how impossible it can feel. But our 100% guarantee lets you legally and permanently walk away or you pay nothing. Resort Release holds a Better Business Bureau A+ rating. We're the only timeshare cancellation company in the nation with their prestigious accreditation. 2016's maintenance fees are on the way. Talk to one of ResortRelease.com's expert asset managers before that bill arrives. 800-281-9595. That's 800-281-9595. Experience ResortRelease.com's easy cancellation process and free yourself from the burden of that timeshare. Call 800-281-9595 or visit ResortRelease.com.
Men, if you could turn back the clock, say 20 years, would you? See, after the age of 30, our bodies produce about 10% less testosterone, and every year following, it will produce 1 to 3% less. But now, thanks to medical advances in treating low T or low testosterone levels that our body produces, you can and will feel 20 years younger. The doctors at National Vitality Centers have helped thousands of men feel younger, have more energy, and perform better at work, at the health club, and yes, even in the bedroom. National Vitality is a men's health clinic that is comprised of professionals that have years of experience and expertise treating personal issues that men will face. Call National Vitality Center for a confidential visit and a $99 consultation that will include a comprehensive hormone panel and examination through the month of August. Call 972-521-8221. That's 972-521-8221. Or you can find us at nationalvitality.com.
Have you put off seeing the dentist because you can't afford to go? Are big dental bills taking a big toll on your wallet? Would you like to have dental insurance but think it's too expensive? If you answered yes to any of these questions, call Physicians Mutual Insurance Company for a free information kit. See how you can help protect your teeth and your wallet for less than $1 a day. 1-800-944-0314. This is real dental insurance that can help cover over 300 procedures, all the ones you're most likely to need. Everything from cleanings and fillings to crowns and dentures. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. You can see any dentist you choose and you'll never pay a deductible. Call in the next 10 minutes and we'll rush you a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-944-0314. That's 1-800-944-0314. 1-800-944-0314.
Dallas Baptist University Women's Night Out featuring Shonda Pierce, Thursday, October 15th, 2015, with Lindsay McCall and Karen Williams.
You ever tried to put on a pair of Spanx in an airplane bathroom? My body twisted in ways I didn't know could.
Focus on the funny. Get your women's group together for a fun night out. Women's Night Out at Northwood Church in Keller, Texas.
So, there I was. I didn't want to give in to the peer pressure, but they already had their bags of mascara out and their lipstick, and I'm like, what I got? Blistex.
Tickets on sale at iTickets.com. Call 1-800-965-9324. For group tickets, go to getgrouptickets.com or call 844-381-4751. Buy 10 or more reserved seats at one time and save $5 per ticket. Buy 30 or more reserved seats at one time and save $5 per ticket and get 2 free tickets. From Salem Media Group, Inc. and Awakening Events.
The calendar says September. Kids are back in school. People are playing football, but it's still hot. And you may know this particularly in your own home because your AC is not working the way it should. Don't let this ride. Call my air conditioning company, Walker AC. Walker Air Conditioning and Heating, in business for 52 years, family owned. Absolutely great folks. You know what they're going to do? They're going to come out and make your AC work. There's a lot of hot weather left. You need an AC system that works. You might need a new one, but you might not. They're not going to throw a new one at you when all you really need is some reliable repairs. And at Walker AC, they're all about reliable repairs. Have been for over half a century. They're also all about new systems when you need one and having you save a bunch of money on those new systems. Same-day service if you have an emergency. Reliable people, folks you can trust. And isn't that what you're looking for in an AC company? Walker AC. Give them a buzz. 972-4-WALKER. 972-4-WALKER. Don't be hot. I know it's September, but don't be hot. 972-4-WALKER or walkerac.com.
660 AM. 660 AM. The Answer. 660 AM. TheAnswer.com. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. One of the most amazing human beings on the face of the earth is a guy named Dick Cheney. Whether you like Dick Cheney or whether you dislike Dick Cheney, you know who Dick Cheney is. He is a polarizing fixture in American politics. Thankfully, he is living when we live, because we're living in interesting times, especially in the context of the classic Chinese curse. Dick Cheney has not followed in the footsteps of many vice presidents. He has carefully chosen his retorts to current American policy. He has remained a part of public life in these United States. This morning, he spoke at the American Enterprise Institute, a conservative think tank in Washington, D.C. His topic was the Iran nuclear deal. He has, as you have probably already either heard or based on experience come to expect, extremely harsh and concerted disagreements with that deal. And he has said so, not just the deal on its merits, but the politics surrounding that particular deal moving forward. I would have loved to have seen the entire speech. I would love to play it for you tonight. But thankfully, it can be distilled down to a couple of paragraphs. And here they are.
The best assurance against these things coming to pass is a decisive bipartisan majority in Congress that will vote against this deal and gather still more strength to override a veto. Some have suggested the White House recognizes the difficulty members of the president's own party are facing as they are pressured to cast a vote in opposition to the interests and views of their own constituents, not to mention the nation. To avoid this, a filibuster has been discussed. That way, no member need be on the record supporting this shameful deal. Anyone unwilling to stand up and be counted on this deal should not be serving an elective office. The truth of the matter is that such momentous issues of national security should not be decided by a filibuster, a veto, or by 1/3 of the members of the United States Senate, least of all by a president who justifies his actions with a false choice, this deal or war. Now, as at other fateful turns in our history, the alternative to nightmarish scenarios that we all wish to avoid is not to make concession after concession after concession.
Dick Cheney calling it the way he sees it. The logic in this is really part and parcel of what you have to determine the validity of. And I see it very, very clearly in this statement. Others do not. Before Dick Cheney stepped up to the lectern at the American Enterprise Institute, the White House issued a YouTube video called Vice President Dick Cheney, Wrong Then, Wrong Now, and features several statements from Cheney regarding serious mistakes he put forward when it came to the United States dealing with Iran. Oh, wait, that's not what happened, because Dick Cheney hasn't put forward a series of serious mistakes in dealing with Iran. What the White House put out was what they considered to be a series of mistakes with Dick Cheney dealing with Iraq, which, as many of us, maybe not all of us, but many of us knows, is a different country. Many of us know is a different country. Apparently, the clip shows a video of Juan Williams questioning why the American people should listen to Cheney on the Iran deal when he was wrong on so many aspects of the Iraq war. We do have that? We have the White House video? Then let's play the White House video.
Well, say, well, Dick Cheney was wrong about Iraq. Why should they listen to you on Iran?
Because I was right about Iraq. Because I was right about Iraq.
Do you think the American people are prepared for a long, costly, and bloody battle with significant American casualties? I don't think it's likely to unfold that way, Tim, because I really do believe we will be greeted as liberators.
Simply stated, there is no doubt that Saddam Hussein now has weapons of mass destruction.
Do you think we got it so wrong? I mean, we thought he had weapons of mass destruction, and he didn't. We thought we'd be greeted with open arms, and we weren't. What happened?
Well, I don't look at it as we got it so wrong, Bob. I think we have.
We got a big part of it wrong.
We have not been greeted as liberators. No, I think we have by most Iraqis.
2/3 of Americans say it's not worth fighting.
So?
Do you think that perhaps you looked at the intelligence and saw what you wanted to see rather than make a real logical analysis of what you saw?
You said there was no doubt Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. You said we would be greeted as liberators. You said the Iraq insurgency was in the last throes back in 2005. And you said that after our intervention, extremists would have to, quote, rethink their strategy of jihad. Now, with almost $1 trillion spent there, with 4,500 American lives lost there, what do you say to those who say you were so wrong about so much at the expense of so many?
No, I just fundamentally disagree, Megan. What I would say is that the war emboldened Iran. Iran is much more of a threat because of the Iraq war than they were before.
We did a lot to limit nuclear proliferation in the region while we were there. But the centrifuges went from 0 to 5,000. Well, they may not have gone, but that happened on Obama's watch, not on our watch. No. By 2009, they were at 5,000. Right, but I think we did a lot.
Is military action against Iran inevitable?
I have trouble seeing how we're going to achieve our objective short of that.
This is the White House trying to hit Cheney in the head about his ideas about Iraq, when actually the discussion is about Iran. There are statements about Iran in that video that so far have been mirrored essentially, did I miss it? But President Obama has been saying that it's either this deal or war. In my particular view, it's going to be this deal and war. Only time will tell. Being able to go back in the game and look at all of these things with the advantage of, it's really interesting. The people that put this together were the people that were crapping all over the press for making edits on the Planned Parenthood videos. There were an awful lot of statements being made by reporters and not being made by Dick Cheney that left meaning hanging, in this. Look, here's the story. Regardless of how we got here, Dick Cheney is in a situation where he is saying that the Iran nuclear deal is madness. He's not the only one. Benjamin Netanyahu says it's madness. And he's living there. Simple logic dictates that allowing this nation to have nuclear weapons and to continue moving forward with nuclear weapons is completely and total madness, in the words of Dick Cheney. Let me say something else here. He is absolutely right about the politics of the deal. I have said the same thing he said, except I said it 2 weeks ago. What I said 2 weeks ago is that people who voted for this or who would vote for this agreement have no business in public office. None. He says that those people who would not publicly stand up and cast a vote one way or another have no business in public office. So let's go with Dick Cheney, shall we? And let's go ahead and talk about the fact that the Washington Post now reports that with 3 Democrat senators announcing that they will vote in support of the nuclear deal with Iran, a way has been paved for a possible filibuster of Republican-led attempts to disapprove of the controversial agreement. Senator Richard Blumenthal, who did not actually say that he would vote for it, Gary Peters, who would not actually say that he would vote for it, Ron Wyden, who would not actually say that he would vote for it, because what the Washington Post now reports is that these are pro-deal statements. They're not outright statements that, yeah, we're going to vote for this. Why? Because what Dick Cheney is saying is absolutely right. Democrats are going to have to explain these votes unless they don't have to make them. A filibuster sure is handy, isn't it? And oh, by the way, what does that leave? That leaves the Republican leadership with one move and one move only, and that is to invoke the nuclear option, whereby only a simple majority would be necessary to move things forward. They can't do anything about a veto override. But the politics are being played so that we, the people of the United States, who, by the way, disapprove of this deal in the latest polling by a 30-point margin. Do you support or oppose the nuclear deal with Iran? 55% of us oppose the deal. 55%. That's more than half of us. And what about the Democrats and the Iranians? What about those people? Maryland's Barbara Mikulski became the 34th Senate Democrat to announce her support for President Obama's nuclear deal, which of course sustained the veto. Now, theoretically, there are others coming out of the woodwork to continue supporting this mess. The deal will proceed. Democrats had better hope it succeeds because they're taking responsibility for Iran's compliance and imperial ambitions. They now own the Ayatollahs. Whatever the Ayatollahs do in Iran belongs part and parcel, actually belongs solely to the Democrat Party. Just like Obamacare. 72% of us didn't want that. Just like so many other things. What we find ourselves in now is we find ourselves in a country where what we believe and what we wish and what we hope doesn't matter. Only President Obama's agenda matters. And Dick Cheney at least had the guts to stand up and say something about it. This is the Wells Report.
Hi, I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List, and this is the Good Contractors List Word of the Month. What is self-esteem? We all want to feel good about ourselves and think that we're good people. But the truth is, we're not good. Not one of us. The nature we're born with is selfish, rebellious, and we are inherently evil. You can't try hard enough to overcome the old nature. And the more you focus on trying to fix what you can't fix, the more you're going to get discouraged. If you've truly given your life to Jesus, then you need to stop trying to improve your self-esteem. Jesus didn't give his life so you could feel good about yourself. He suffered the cross so that he could make you a new creature, free from yourself. Put your esteem in Jesus and forget about yourself. If he is in control, then you'll end up in places yourself would never take you. I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List.
The Word of the Month has been brought to you by thegoodcontractorslist.com.
I was coming out of the hardware store when I saw him. An old man, late 70s, hunched over in the freezing rain, no hat on his head, limping across that slippery parking lot and pushing a row of shopping carts toward the cart corral. It's heartbreaking. Millions of hardworking Americans simply don't have enough money to retire, so they just keep working and working and working until it's too late. Hi, I'm Chad Stubbs, President and CEO of PowerTrader, and I believe that's just plain wrong. That's why I'm now distributing to the public absolutely free trials of the PowerTrader Edge, the easy-to-use online stock trading program that helps regular folks make the money they need to retire fast. For your free trial, call 1-800-500-4744. Don't let the lack of money rob you of your retirement. Be one of the first 100 callers right now and get your free trial before it's too late. 1-800-500-4744. Don't miss out. Call now. 1-800-500-4744. 1-800-500-4744.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Debt Relief Advocates now. 1-800-600-7841. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Debt Relief Advocates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible, without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-600-7841. That's 1-800-600-7841. 1-800-600-7841.
Sample comes with a 90-day order. Copays and deductibles may apply.
If you or someone you care for are using painful urinary catheters, Medical Direct Club can help. There's a new catheter that hurts less, and you can get a free sample with free shipping by calling now. Pain and urinary tract infections can be avoided if you're using urinary catheters. The new disposable catheters from Medical Direct Club hurt less due to an incredible new design that reduces pain by gliding easily and effortlessly. Old catheters can scrape and cut, causing pain and infection. These new catheters from Medical Direct Club are changing the lives of people who use urinary catheters. Medicare and your insurance will pay for up to 200 of these new catheters per month at little or no cost to you. Medical Direct Club handles all of the paperwork with your doctor and includes lifetime free shipping when you join. Membership and a free sample are free, so call Medical Direct Club now. 1-800-600-1127. That's 1-800-600-1127. End painful cathing today. Call 1-800-600-1127.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got a question. Why is your mobile phone bill going to help Hillary become president of the United States? Answer is, same reason Big Mobile helped Obama win twice. It's what they do. Now Hillary's counting on Big Mobile to help her in 2016. If you're okay with that, don't listen further. But if you don't want to support Hillary or other leftist candidates and causes, switch to EOS Mobile. EOS Mobile. Website is EOScell, EOScell.com to learn more. EOS has the same great nationwide network, high-speed data, voice, pretty much everywhere across the country. EOS has the same devices you have come to love. And with plans starting at $9.99, a plan for every budget. Best of all, EOS Mobile at EOScell.com gives 5% of each bill to conservative causes and candidates. If you're stuck in a contract, they'll buy you out. If you want your phone bill to support conservative candidates, the choice is clear. EOScell.com. Learn more now at EOScell.com. EOScell.com. Same phones, same service, better causes. EOScell.com. EOScell.com.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at? The Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. The Democrats don't care what we think. They don't care what Dick Cheney thinks. All they care about is the deal. They just want President Obama to have his moment in the foreign policy sun. Well, you know, they say that a thermonuclear weapon is like having the sun on the earth. I hope that's not the moment in the sun that we end up seeing. Although, I'll be honest with you, a group of former top military officials and intel analysts believe that that is exactly what is going to happen. They conclude the nuclear deal with Iran will threaten American interests and increase the probability of military conflict in the Middle East. The Iran Strategy Council wrote in that the nuclear deal, called the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, quote, will enable Iran to increase support for terrorist and insurgent proxies, aggravate sectarian conflict, and trigger both nuclear and conventional proliferation cascades. In its report, the council argued the deal is not an alternative to war with Iran, as many of its supporters have claimed, but actually makes a war more likely, which is what Dick Cheney is saying. Contrary to the false choice between supporting the JCPOA and the military confrontation, the agreement increases both the probability and danger of hostilities with Iran. Given the deleterious strategic consequences to the United States implementation of this deal, the demand increased political and military engagement in the Middle East that carries significantly greater risks and costs relative to current planning assumptions. That's what the JCPOA will demand. Greater risks, greater costs. The study was commissioned by the Jewish Institute of National Security to educate Americans on the consequences of a nuclear Iran deal, the Iran nuclear deal. Members of the council include General James Conway, former Commandant of the Marine Corps, retired Air Force General Chuck Wald, former Deputy Commander of the United States European Command, retired Admiral Mark Fitzgerald, former Commander of the U.S. Naval Forces in Europe and Africa, and retired Vice Admiral John Byrd, former Commander of the U.S. 7th Fleet. The report comes as Senate Democrats have actually put together enough support to perhaps put together a filibuster of the deal in the United States Senate, thereby freeing the Democrat senators from having to back the president's play, which is a huge mistake. Politically, no, it's not a huge mistake, but history will be a much more difficult foe to obviate. It's really, really hard to filibuster history for very long. To me, it's very simple. What we will see is an empowered Iran moving forward with its plans in the Middle East. We will see those plans come in direct conflict with the immovable force that is the state of Israel. Israel will make its decisions. Israel will pursue what it considers to be the most important solution to this most important problem. The United States will be a spectator and a protagonist thanks to our support of Iran for giving them the tools necessary to see them be obliterated by the state of Israel. That's what I think is going to happen. My name's Wells. That's my opinion. This is the Wells Report.
This is Jerry Bailey, and I'm the host of your radio show, The Retirement Hour. What we will do on the Retirement Hour show is we'll show you how to keep those stock market type gains. We'll show you how to make more money in the bank with no risk to your money. We'll also show you here on the Retirement Hour how to pass your money on to your children with nobody stepping in between. You'll learn how to always have the money you have today. Jerry Bailey, I'm the host on the Retirement Hour right here on 660 AM each Saturday and Sunday morning at 7 a.m.
Let's make an offer on that Aspen Street house.
That one doesn't have a home warranty.
Is that a problem?
Not if you like paying through the nose on home system breakdowns.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like if the air conditioner quits, want to pay for a new one? Do you know how to fix the water heater, the plumbing?
Got it. Let's only look at places with home warranties.
A home warranty from American Home Shield protects homeowners against unexpected covered repairs and breakdowns of major home systems and appliances. Who would want to move into a new home without one? Just ask your local real estate professional, or for complimentary helpful information about a home warranty from American Home Shield, call now at 1-800-720-6695. Service requests are subject to a fee for each trade call. Some exclusions and limitations apply. An American Home Shield home warranty instantly gives home buyers confidence in their purchase. For complimentary helpful information, including terms, rates, and coverage, call 1-800-720-6695. 1-800-720-6695.
Did you know a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, you might not sleep so well. But now, SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs, and it's completely hands-free. For a limited time, you can try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Just call 1-800-400-5241.
SoClean changed the CPAP experience for the better. My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean destroys CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs with no hassle. Never have to clean your machine by hand again. There's no water, chemicals, or disassembly. Just pop in your mask, close the lid, and presto, your CPAP system is clean and fresh in minutes. Call SoClean.com to try it risk-free at home for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer only available by calling 1-800-400-5241. That's 1-800-400-5241.
Do you use a CPAP device for sleep apnea? Are you tired of dragging your bulky in-home device everywhere you travel? Then you need to know about Transcend, the world's first portable mini CPAP device. It lets you sleep in total comfort anywhere you go. And right now, you can try it risk-free for 21 days by calling 1-800-500-5711. Transcend from minicpap.com is as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so small and so light, you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can sleep comfortably even while flying. Transcend is our smallest, lightest, and most portable mini CPAP design ever, offering all the performance of a bulky standard in-home device. Enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably. Call minicpap.com now for your 21-day in-home trial. 1-800-500-5711. Again, that's 1-800-500-5711.
How would you like to make up to $20,000 a month flipping houses with no risk? Hi, my name is Nick Vertucci, and over the last 2 years, my elite team of house flippers have flipped over 800 properties by using my 3-step flipping system that guarantees quick profits. And this year, we plan to double it. I'm growing my team in your area, and I'm looking for help. I have more cash available than deals right now, so I need you. All interested candidates, call now and take an inside peek of my flipping system. I'll rush you out a free copy of my Fortunes and Flipping CD kit that will show you how easy it is to get in, get out, and get paid immediately flipping houses if you come join my team.
Call 1-800-614-2043 now to get your free flipping kit. Call 800-614-2043 in the next 20 minutes, and Nick will also give you free tickets to a live training event, which includes a free meal coming to your area. Call 800-614-2043. That's 800-614-2043 and get your free kit now.
You want to feel connected, informed, included, inspired. So when important things happen, we're here. Your local radio and TV broadcasters. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information on your radio, TV, computer, tablet, and smartphone. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Tell Washington local stations matter by texting radio to 52886. Furnished by NAB and the station. Message and data rates may apply.
660 AM, The Answer. Now, the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. There are an awful lot of people that are streaming out of Syria. They have been shuttled across all kinds of countries, mainly Turkey, on their way to Europe. The politics are flying hot and heavy as European countries try to decide how many refugees they're going to take. Isn't it strange that the left is clamoring for more people to change their countries? You know, this happened once before. Of course, they called it the Ottoman Empire then. Already we've heard people, these refugees, that have abandoned their home countries. And why not? The chaos is rife. It's a deadly place to live, this Syria of which we speak. Because not only will your neighbors kill you, but your government will too. That's crazy. So these people are leaving Syria and moving into Europe. And political forces are once again arrayed against those who say, hey, wait a minute, what are we doing to our countries here? There was a very famous book called Londonistan, the Islamification of London. There are many people that say multiculturalism is a utopian myth that has damaged countries seemingly beyond repair. But as these refugees come streaming into Europe, many of them are very upset about the fact that they're not being treated properly. Setting the stage for not being treated properly in the future. They haven't even been able to be processed officially into their new countries, and already they're complaining about the way they're being treated. It's like being invited to a picnic in a disaster area and complaining about the food. I find it interesting that all these people are leaving Syria and going to Europe. Why do you suppose that is? How come Kuwait won't take any of them? Why doesn't Bahrain open up their gates? The United Arab Emirates? What about Saudi Arabia? How come Qatar and Oman and all these other countries won't take any of these refugees? Why? Is it because they're time bombs? No Syrian refugees have been resettled in Persian Gulf nations. Other countries need to do more, said Nadim Uri, human rights deputy for Middle East and North Africa. He called wealthy countries in the region, their refusal to take the Syrian refugees in, shameful. Officials in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Oman, and UAE defend themselves by noting each has given millions of dollars to the United Nations to help their refugees. The UAE says it's given more than $530 million in relief aid. They stress that Syrians have entered Gulf states on visas and stayed. They've also employed a what about them defense, noting the Gulf states aren't the only nations not helping give homes to victims of war. Amnesty International points out that other high-income countries like Russia, Japan, Singapore, South Korea have offered zero resettlement options. The UN has been direct. By the way, you can read all about this in CNN. The UN has been direct. It wants all nations which are developed to open their borders. Yeah. It's more than a matter of generosity. It's also practical, some argue. Gulf citizens have much in common with Syrians. They speak Arabic, like most Syrians. And those states are wealthier than many countries like Turkey, Lebanon, and Jordan. By the way, Turkey, Lebanon, and Jordan have also accepted refugees. Good for them. Some say Saudi Arabia and Qatar have obligations to help victims of war, in which those nations have been involved through their financial support of rebel groups that have fought Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. In Hungary, frustrated migrants breaking through police lines. Germany's vice chancellor said his country could take 500,000 refugees annually for the next several years, one day after Hungary's prime minister called on Berlin to close its doors to thousands from the Middle East, Africa, and Asia, who have poured into Eastern Europe in an effort to reach more prosperous nations. The BBC reports that Sigmar Gabriel also repeated demands that other European countries accept quotas designed to ensure that Germany does not have to take in the lion's share of refugees. Germany, which has the largest economy in Europe, is expected to take in 800,000 refugees in 2015, more than 4 times last year's total. An estimated 20,000 refugees entered Germany via Hungary by train, bus, and on foot in this last weekend alone. Hungarian President Viktor Orban warned in an interview with Austrian television that millions of refugees would descend upon the continent if what he called Germany's open door policy continued. He also claimed that many who had passed through his country via the so-called Balkan corridor were not in dire straits, but rather were attracted by Germany's generous benefit programs. For that reason, the refugee surge risked placing an intolerable financial strain on members of the 28-nation EU. As long as Europe cannot protect its external borders, it makes no sense to discuss the fate of those flowing in, said Orban. Sound familiar? I'm happy that Germany has become a country that people outside of Germany now associate with hope, said German Chancellor Angela Merkel at a Berlin news conference. What isn't acceptable in my view, that some people are saying this has nothing to do with them. This won't work in the long run. There will be consequences, although we don't want that, which is Angela Merkel speak for, hey, this is going to have bad repercussions, but let's not worry about it now because, well, there's political hay to be made. This is going to be a mess. Just like it was before. It's amazing what we refuse to learn. I mean, it's like all these politicians are saying, hey, Hey, don't worry about all these refugees. I mean, they're coming to our nations. Isn't anything to lose your head over. The Wall Street Journal, Brett Stevens, says it this way. He said, this was supposed to be the era of no fences, no walls between blocks, BLOCS, no borders between countries, no barriers to trade, visa-free tourism, the single market, a global interest, frictionless transactions, seamless exchange. In short, a flat world. Whatever happened to that? In the early 90s, Israel's then Foreign Minister Shimon Peres published a book called The New Middle East, in which he predicted what was soon to be in store for his neighborhood. Regional common markets reflect the new zeitgeist, he gushed. It was only a matter of time before it would become true in his part of the world, too. Well, not yet. Contrast the promised utopia with the mind-boggling scenes of tens of thousands of Middle East immigrants marching up the roads and the railways of Europe headed for their German promised land. The images seem like a 21st century version of the Völkerwanderung, the migration of nations in the late Roman and early medieval periods, desperate people needing a place to go, sweeping a broad landscape like an unchanneled flood. How did it happen? We mistook a holiday from history. For the end of it, we built a fenceless world on the wrong set of assumptions about the future. We wanted a new liberal order, one with lots of liberalism without a lot of order. We wanted to be a generous civilization without doing the things required to be a prosperous one first. In 2003, the political theorist Robert Kagan wrote a thoughtful book of Paradise and Power in which he took stock of the philosophical divide between Americans and Europeans. Americans, he wrote, inhabited the world of Thomas Hobbes, in which true security and the defense and promotion of liberal order still depend on the possession and use of military might. Europeans, by contrast, lived in the world of Immanuel Kant, which perpetual peace was guaranteed by a set of cultural conventions, consensually agreed rules, and belief in the virtues of social solidarity overseen by a redistributive state. You suppose these immigrants moving into Europe would be interested in the perpetual peace guaranteed by a set of cultural conventions, consensually agreed rules? Have Muslim immigrants consensually agreed to anything? I mean, I don't want to cast aspersions on this wonderful ideology being put forward by German and European politicians who think this is a wonderful thing, but there are a few questions that have to be asked. Why would Middle East countries that know these people the best, why wouldn't they take them in? Why is it that there are a lot of people who say, gosh, you know, I'm trying to figure out how this improves our country? What about those people who say, is this going to make things better or worse? Is that a question we want to answer now? Or do we want to answer later, when the answer is probably going to be a lot more obvious? Let me just put it this way. Can someone please tell me a good reason why any country should import a large number of Syrian refugees? Anyone? What is the upside of bringing Syrian refugees into your country? What is the upside of bringing Muslim refugees into your country? The other day in Hungary, there was this gigantic fight between Syrians and Afghans who had joined the party in, oh no, it was in Lesbos. Yeah, a Greek island, as if Greece needed more economic pressure, they suddenly realized, hey, wait a minute, they're not real Muslims like us. They started beating on each other. Is that what Syria is exporting into Europe? I just want a few good reasons why Syrian refugees should be imported to any other country besides Syria. My God, Jon-David, you are so Islamophobic. I'm not Islamophobic at all. Not one bit. I'm just being practical. You know, it was just said a moment ago. We decided that what we wanted to do was build a world that was based on generosity before we took the steps necessary to build a world that was based on prosperity first. What's the upside? I mean, it's already been said here in the United States, we're going to take more Syrian refugees in than we ever have before, ever. How's that going to improve our country? That's all I want to know. How will it improve our country? Bueller? Bueller? You're listening to the Wells Report.
Bill Bennett thinks you need to pick your friends carefully.
These three guys on the train, you know, we have friends because they're useful, they're pleasurable, they're helpful. We also have friends because they encourage us to excellence. These guys encouraged each other to the right thing. And, you know, there was a bond among them. And when the one guy said, go get him, Spencer, you know, he was right behind him. God bless these guys.
Bill Bennett's Morning in America, weekday mornings at 5, right before the Mark Davis Show at 7 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Are you ready to take your education to the next level? Arizona State University now offers over 90 top-tier degree programs, 100% online. With ASU's highly ranked online programs, you'll earn the same degree as our on-campus students, with the ability to learn wherever you want, whenever you want. Same world-renowned faculty, same leading education, same global recognition from one of the top universities in the world. Call 1-800-505-8965. That's 1-800-505-8965.
I'm Jamie from Sherman Oaks, and I just graduated with my degree from Arizona State University. I chose ASU because I received the quality education I deserve in the major I wanted, all from my home.
Jamie's not the only one to earn a degree from ASU. There are over 90 degree programs offered 100% online from one of the top universities. Now's the time to learn more about earning your degree online from Arizona State University. Call 1-800-505-8965. That's 1-800-505-8965.
Have you put off seeing the dentist because you can't afford to go? Are big dental bills taking a big toll on your wallet? Would you like to have dental insurance but think it's too expensive? If you answered yes to any of these questions, call Physicians Mutual Insurance Company for a free information kit. See how you can help protect your teeth and your wallet for less than $1 a day. 1-800-944-0314. This is real dental insurance that can help cover over 300 procedures, all the ones you're most likely to need. Everything from cleanings and fillings to crowns and dentures. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. You can see any dentist you choose, and you'll never pay a deductible. Call in the next 10 minutes, and we'll rush you a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-944-0314. That's 1-800-944-0314. 1-800-944-0314.
Dallas Baptist University Women's Night Out featuring Shonda Pierce, Thursday, October 15th, 2015, with Lindsay McCall and Karen Williams.
You ever tried to put on a pair of Spanx in an airplane bathroom? My body twisted in ways I didn't know could.
Focus on the funny. Get your women's group together for a fun night out. Women's Night Out at Northwood Church in Keller, Texas.
So, you know, there I was. I didn't want to give in to the peer pressure, but they already had their bags of mascara out and their lipstick, and I'm like, what I got? Blistex.
Tickets on sale at itickets.com. Call 1-800-965-9324. For group tickets, go to getgrouptickets.com or call 844-381-4751. Buy 10 or more reserved seats at one time and save $5 per ticket. Buy 30 or more reserved seats at one time and save $5 per ticket and get 2 free tickets. From Salem Media Group, Inc. and Awakening Events.
The calendar says September. Kids are back in school. People are playing football, but it's still hot. And you may know this particularly in your own home because your AC is not working the way it should. Don't let this ride. Call my air conditioning company, Walker AC. Walker Air Conditioning and Heating, in business for 52 years, family owned, absolutely great folks. You know what they're going to do? They're going to come out and make your AC work. There's a lot of hot weather left. You need an AC system that works. You might need a new one, but you might not. They're not going to throw a new one at you when all you really need is some reliable repairs. And at Walker AC, they're all about reliable repairs, have been for over half a century. They're also all about new systems when you need one and having you save a bunch of money on those new systems. Same-day service if you have an emergency, reliable people, folks you can trust. And isn't that what you're looking for in an AC company? Walker AC, give them a buzz. 972-4-WALKER. 972-4-WALKER. Don't be hot. I know it's September, but don't be hot. 972-4-WALKER or walkerac.com.
It's good to be back. The Louisville Gun Show, this weekend only at the Premier Event Center in Lakeland Plaza. Over 400 tables of guns, knives, ammo, and shooting supplies. Come and buy, sell, or trade. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking for that special piece to add to your gun, knife, ammo, or military collection, we have it all under one roof. Call 817-732-1194 or visit our website, LouisvilleGunShow.com. That's the Louisville Gun Show at the Premier Event Center in Lakeland Plaza. Don't miss this show.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report, must-hear radio on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Ruhul Amin and Riyad Khan are members of the Islamic State. They're also British citizens. They were killed by a United Kingdom military drone. Chris Cole, the head of the campaign group Drone Wars, said of Khan, this was a deliberate killing of a British citizen. It was shocking. We have not seen this before. According to British sources, Khan had been involved in more than just incitement through the internet. He had been directing through the internet potential attacks on commemorative events in the UK this summer, such as VE, Victory in Europe, celebrations in May that were presided over by the Queen. When British intelligence revealed he was traveling in a vehicle near Raqqa, the ISIS stronghold in Syria, with 2 others, Amin and a third non-Briton, all ISIS, on 21 August, there was no hesitation, and they blew them to bits. Anwar al-Awlaki is talked about a lot. Washington has admitted to only one targeted killing by drone of an American citizen, and that was Anwar al-Awlaki. I wonder why they don't talk about his son or his high school buddy from Colorado. I never really have understood that. And now we're seeing Britain killing off their citizens as well. I guess due process is kind of a quaint old notion when it comes right down to it, huh? This is the Wells Report. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells, here for my good friend Walt Parker at InvestingMakesMeSick.com. You've been advertising for years, Walt, but there are still people who are not familiar with InvestingMakesMeSick.com. Tell us about that.
If you're new to the DFW area and looking for investment services to help you understand your investments, as well as help you learn more about choices other than stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities, give us a call. Remember, we do offer our We Come to You service.
If you are not new to DFW and you've been listening to Walt for years, don't wait any longer. It's time to call.
Don't settle for limited investment choices. You owe it to yourself to understand your investment choices.
Walt can help you understand all your options. Call him today, 972-463-3833, or log on to investingmakesmesick.com.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. Member Fmr SIPCI. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated. Investments subject to individual investor suitability and risk tolerance. Investments involve a high degree of risk and may be considered speculative and may result in the entire loss of the amount invested. May also incur substantial fees and expenses which are borne by the investor.
Sample comes with a 90-day order. Copays and deductibles may apply.
If you or someone you care for are using painful urinary catheters, Medical Direct Club can help. There's a new catheter that hurts less, and you can get a free sample with free shipping by calling now. Pain and urinary tract infections can be avoided if you're using urinary catheters. The new disposable catheters from Medical Direct Club hurt less due to an incredible new design that reduces pain by gliding easily and effortlessly. Old catheters can scrape and cut, causing pain and infection. These new catheters from Medical Direct Club are changing the lives of people who use urinary catheters. Medicare and your insurance will pay for up to 200 of these new catheters per month at little or no cost to you. Medical Direct Club handles all of the paperwork with your doctor and includes lifetime free shipping when you join. Membership and a free sample are free, so call Medical Direct Club now. 1-800-600-1127. That's 1-800-600-1127. End painful cathing today. Call 1-800-600-1127.
The holiday concert of the year is returning to Dallas December 6th at American Airlines Center. Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant with the Dallas Pops together again on stage performing holiday classics. Dallas's newest holiday tradition will fill American Airlines Center with the holiday spirit. Sunday, December 6th, Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant with the Dallas Pops at American Airlines Center. Tickets on sale now online at Ticketmaster.com by calling 800-745-3000 or at the American Airlines Center box office.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. Service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carmen Roberts. Passengers aboard a British Airways jet had to slide to safety in Las Vegas. An engine fire put a quick halt to the takeoff for the London-bound flight. No major injuries. Party time in Kentucky, where Kim Davis celebrated getting out of jail.
We will stand with Kim, we will stand with the Constitution, and we will stand with our faith and will not be bullied, no matter even if they incarcerate us.
Presidential candidate Mike Huckabee at the rally. The judge released Davis with a warning: don't interfere with her deputies who are now issuing same-sex marriage license. And the United Nations urges the U.S. and others to take in refugees pouring out of the Middle East. The U.S. has only taken in about 1,500 over the past 4 years.
We should take our fair share, but the goal is not to take refugees, it's to destroy the evil from which they flee.
Presidential hopeful Lindsey Graham. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer. Listen on iHeartRadio. Sean Hannity thinks Hillary Clinton has more to worry about than her campaign.
If they find those lost 33,000 emails, the one she's deleted, you're going to not only find classified information, the whole Benghazi issue is going to be brought to an entire new level. And instead of worrying about being elected president, her biggest fear is going to be how much time she may have to spend in jail.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis from my friends at Good Feet, America's #1 arch support. And that invites the question, who needs arch support? Answer is more people than you think. Do your feet hurt at the end of a day? That's not just the way life is supposed to be. You should have arch support where your feet feel great even at the end of a long day of walking. If your feet hurt at the beginning of the day, man, you got all kinds of issues and they can be helped. You can get out of pain with arch support. It could be structural misalignment, plantar fasciitis, kind of a foot alignment, supination, overpronation, all these technical things that they know about at Good Feet. And what you'll know is you can walk in pain. You can limp in and walk out pain-free. This happens with so many people. I want to send everybody to goodfeetdfw.com, goodfeetdfw.com, Plano, Fort Worth, South Lake. Absolutely fantastic people. No shots, no medicine, no surgery, just relief from pain. So get out of pain today. 888-660-0942. 888-660-0942 or goodfeetdfw.com. That's goodfeetdfw.com.
Hi, I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List. I get asked a lot if the Good Contractors List is like Angie's List, so I thought I'd take the time to do a comparison and let you decide. On the Good Contractors List, we actually meet every one of our contractors face-to-face and have an extensive screening process. On Angie's List, you can pay to read reviews. On the Good Contractors List, if issues arise with our contractors, we get physically involved and will come to your home if necessary. On Angie's List, you can pay to write a bad review. The Good Contractors List takes into consideration things like overhead and sales tactics when choosing our contractors. On Angie's List, you can pay to read reviews. If one of our contractors refuses to fix a problem, we investigate fully and pay up to $10,000 of our own money to get it fixed. On Angie's List, you can write a bad review and you're on your own. The Good Contractors List is absolutely free with a $10,000 guarantee. Reviews are good. Responsibility is better.
The Good Contractors List.
We are visiting our friend Chef Tom Fleming at Crossroads Diner. What do you have cooking today, Tom?
We've talked before, and it's great to talk to you again. Let me ask you a question. When you're going to those other breakfast places, are they making stuff in-house? You should ask them. Because at the Crossroads Diner, well, we make a lot of things in-house. You might ask, what? Well, let me help you. Well, there's the sticky buns, our homemade pancake mix, our whole wheat pancake mix, biscuits made in-house, sauces made from scratch, jams and jellies, our chorizo, Italian sausage, our quiche. I could go on and on. But really, you just need to ask the other guys, are they doing that? Because I don't think they are, but know that we are.
Come eat with us. We're off of Walnut Hill, just east of 75. Open for breakfast and lunch Tuesday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Or visit us on the web at crossroads-diner.com. Home-style goodness meets traditional diner. Great recipes, fresh ingredients, comfortable environment, and genuine hospitality are the heart and soul of Crossroads Diner. We'll be waiting for you.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
I had numerous credit cards, and I was struggling with paying them off.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360 to talk to a certified counselor.
I had heard about Trinity, so I made the call. They took care of all of my credit cards, and now I am completely debt-free.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
The people at Trinity are very friendly. They will do whatever you need them to do in order for you to feel better about being in a very difficult place.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360.
My name is Ann, and I'm debt-free for keeps.
1-800-758-5360.
Honey, I'm really worried about our retirement funds.
Oh, me too. We lost so much value in the recession in the stock market. I'm worried we won't have enough to retire.
Jim next door told me that he had set up a new kind of IRA with the Gold Silver Group. He said how simple and safe it was. It's a private storage IRA, and we could have real gold and silver in our hands.
Really? You mean we can actually see it and touch it?
Absolutely. Jim said we could have all the benefits of an IRA to help build our retirement income. Bottom line, we would own a real tangible asset, and we would have the security of knowing we're protected no matter what the economy does. What do you think?
I think we need to find out how to get our own private storage IRA. We need to call the Gold Silver Group right now.
Are you ready to protect your future? Call 800-296-7609 now to find out how easy and safe it is to set up a private storage IRA with Gold Silver Group and find out how you can qualify for up to $700 in free silver. All transactions are privately delivered and fully insured. Please call us now. 800-296-7609. 800-296-7609.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Reports. My name is Jon-David Wells. Hi. Telephone number 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. By now, you have heard the near constant refrain coming from the Hillary Clinton camp. Perhaps you have heard of the Fox News, New York Times reporting on a second review that indeed confirms that Hillary Rodham Clinton received 2 top secret emails on her personal account. including one about North Korea's nuclear weapons program that involved satellite imagery. The National Geospatial Intelligence Agency and the Central Intelligence Agency reviewed those emails. They were top secret when they were sent, and they remain top secret now. And remember, there are still tens of thousands of emails left to go. But this wraps up the case. A case that only needs someone to actually pursue it. That, of course, takes us to Loretta Lynch, who is the current Attorney General of the United States, and her willingness to put this case before a federal grand jury. The FBI is involved. Their investigation has yet to be finished or published. If they find that the former Secretary of State has broken the law, I don't know that Loretta Lynch will be able to withstand the pressure that would be applied to her by the FBI to ignore all of this evidence and just let business go on as usual. We've all heard what Hillary Clinton said as late as yesterday. She said she did not need to apologize for using a private email account and server while she was the Secretary of State because she did what was allowed. No other Secretary of State ever did this, but, well, you know. In an interview with the Associated Press during a Labor Day campaign swing through Iowa, the frontrunner and Democrat presidential nomination chaser also said the lingering questions about her email practices while serving as President Barack Obama's first Secretary of State have not damaged her campaign. Not at all. It's a distraction, certainly, but it hasn't in any way affected the plan for our campaign, the efforts we're making to organize here in Iowa and elsewhere around the country. And I still feel very confident about the organization and the message that my campaign is putting out. That was yesterday. What a difference a day makes. Reported by Dan Merica and Theodore Schleifer of CNN today. Democrat presidential frontrunner Hillary Clinton said today she is sorry for using a private email server, going further than ever before to express remorse for the controversy that has rocked her campaign. So much for it's just a distraction. I'm sorry about that, Clinton said in an at times emotional interview on ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir. Acknowledging that she should have used separate accounts for work and personal business, I take responsibility and I am trying to be as transparent as I possibly can be. Clinton later issued a slightly different apology in the interview, saying she was sorry that it had raised all these questions. Too late. Too late. Though Clinton has taken responsibility for exclusive use of an private email server during her time as Secretary of State, she told the Associated Press yesterday that she doesn't need to apologize. That is sadly not true. She did get choked up at one point, speaking of her late mother and how hard it is to campaign 24/7. It's just something that demands everything, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I can have a perfectly fine life not being president. I'm glad you feel that way, Ms. Secretary, because I think you're going to get a chance. In an interview with MSNBC earlier this month, Clinton apologized for the confusion around her exclusive use of a private email server as Secretary of State and took the responsibility for the controversy, but declined to directly apologize for the email setup, which she did today with David Muir and then walked it back a little bit later. And then went on to a Cedar Rapids gathering where she said that she was going to defend and protect a citizen's right to organize collectively with a union, even though there's no real reason for it, except, of course, to provide unions with political power by spending other people's union dues on candidates that union members likely would not support otherwise. Clinton promised to make sure that some employers go to jail for wage theft. Can somebody help me with that? Wage theft? What is that? Is that when an employer intentionally pays you less than he should? How is the government of the United States going to prove that? Or would they even have to prove it? I know you have to prove that someone used a private email server that was wide open to hackers around the world and possess top secret information outside of a top secret system. I know you have to prove that, but do you have to prove that somebody paid somebody too little at a job? You have to actually prove that? No, I didn't think so. Clinton said this is going to be a fight, and make no mistake about it, it's going to be a hard election. The other side has said they will spend, do, and say anything to win back the White House. I have a little experience with that, and I'm absolutely confident that whatever they throw at me, I can throw it right back. Maybe she meant that the Republicans threw her an attempted cleansed server, and she threw it right back. Maybe that's what she keeps saying she did what she allowed. She did what she allowed. And then there's this. As she testified before the Tax Writing Senate Finance Committee, September 30th, 1993, Hillary Clinton was asked by Senator Bill Bradley if she supported the imposition of a new 25% national sales tax on guns. Clinton emphatically endorsed the tax, saying, "I'm all for that." The Associated Press reported it this way on October 1st, 1993. Senator Bill Bradley picked up Ms. Clinton's support for his idea of slapping stiff taxes on purveyors of violence, a 25% sales tax on guns, and a $2,500 license fee for gun dealers. Speaking personally, I'm all for that, said the First Lady, but she stressed she was just speaking for herself. Well, let me say that there is no more impersonal endorsement in the country today, and I thank you very much, said former Senator Bill Bradley. After she publicly endorsed the 25% gun tax in congressional testimony, she made sure everyone understood how important it was to her, saying, "I'm speaking personally, but I feel very strongly about that." Remarkably, although the hearing was broadcast on C-SPAN and Clinton's 25% gun tax endorsement was noted at the time by AP, The Washington Post, New York Times, and others, a search of leading news databases reveals not a single media mention since 1993. How strange. Americans for Tax Reform now highlighting the gun tax endorsement as the latest addition to its dossier of Clinton's tax positions, available at hightaxhillary.com. On the day of the Senate Finance Committee hearing, NBC Nightly News reported the 25% gun tax incident as follows. NBC, others urge a hefty sales tax on guns, much higher fees for gun dealers. Today, they got a powerful ally. Then they cut to Clinton saying, "I'm all for that. I just don't know what else we're going to do to try to figure out how to get some handle on this violence." Hillary Clinton added, "It's only her personal opinion." The Bill Clinton White House made it clear that Hillary's 25% gun tax was all hers. This, according to an October 1st, 1993 White House press briefing transcript. Do you know if the president supports the First Lady's endorsement of an idea yesterday by Senator Bill Bradley that there could be a 25% tax on the sale of guns in America? Then Press Secretary D.D. Myers said, well, you know, she was expressing her opinion. Hillary's anti-gun crusade continues to this day. During a CNN town hall meeting in 2014, she called for a ban on assault weapons and declared, we cannot let a minority of people, and that's what it is, a minority of people hold a viewpoint that terrorizes the majority of people. I don't know what she's talking about. Clinton's positions are consistent with long-standing progressive goals on gun taxation, gun registration, and other forms of gun control. On August 10th, 2015, the Seattle City Council voted unanimously to impose a $25 per gun sales tax on all firearms. As a result, the National Rifle Association, the National Shooting Sports Foundation, and the Second Amendment Foundation have filed lawsuits. On August 26, Clinton said she would push to balance the legitimate Second Amendment rights with preventative measures and control measures. The next day, a Washington Post headline declared her, quote, the new standard bearer for gun control. But what's going to get her is not her standpoint, her stance on gun control or tax or any of that. What's going to get her is this email mess. There is no one working with top secret material anywhere in the United States that would not have been arrested by now and probably cooling their jets without bail in jail. But this is a different situation, isn't it? Let me ask you this question. If it came right down to it, would you support former First Lady, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton? Would you support a jail sentence for her? Would you actually want to see Hillary Clinton in prison? Do you think the country would allow that to happen? Yes or no, and why? This is the Wells Report.
How would you like to make up to $20,000 a month flipping houses with no risk? Hi, my name is Nick Vertucci, and over the last 2 years, my elite team of house flippers have flipped over 800 properties by using my 3-step flipping system that guarantees quick profits. And this year, we plan to double it. I'm growing my team in your area, and I'm looking for help. I have more cash available than deals right now, so I need you. All interested candidates, call now and take an inside peek of my flipping system. I'll rush you out a free copy of my Fortunes and Flipping CD kit that will show you how easy it is to get in, get out, and get paid immediately flipping houses if you come join my team.
Call 1-800-614-2043 now to get your free flipping kit. Call 800-614-2043 in the next 20 minutes, and Nick will also give you free tickets to a live training event, which includes a free meal coming to your area. Call 800-614-2043. That's 800-614-2043 and get your free kit now.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got a question. Why is your mobile phone bill going to help Hillary become president of the United States? Answer is, same reason Big Mobile helped Obama win twice. It's what they do. Now Hillary's counting on Big Mobile to help her in 2016. If you're okay with that, don't listen further. But if you don't want to support Hillary or other leftist candidates and causes, switch to EOS Mobile. EOS Mobile. Website is EOScell, EOScell.com to learn more. EOS has the same great nationwide network, high-speed data, voice, pretty much everywhere across the country. EOS has the same devices you have come to love. And with plans starting at $9.99, a plan for every budget. Best of all, EOS Mobile at EOScell.com gives 5% of each bill to conservative causes and candidates. If you're stuck in a contract, they'll buy you out. If you want your phone bill to support conservative candidates, the choice is clear. EOScell.com. Learn more now at EOScell.com. EOScell.com. Same phones, same service, better causes. EOScell.com, EOSCELL.com.
The right floor can transform an everyday house into a truly extraordinary home. From fresh colors to unique textures, finishes, and grains, get inspired by all the newest fall styles and hottest design trends in flooring. Only at Lumber Liquidators. From the new whitewashed and distressed hardwoods to European and American laminate, wood look, tile, and more, Lumber Liquidators is the place to get unbeatable prices and the best selection of high-quality flooring anywhere. Best of all, call Lumber Liquidators right now at 800-504-4176 and get a free promo code worth $50 that you can use towards your next order. So take the first step toward that new floor and call 800-504-4176 for your free fall catalog filled with tips and ideas and unheard of deals on this fall's best new hardwood, bamboo, and laminate floors. Call 800-504-4176 today and we'll rush your free fall catalog and free $50 promo code out to you today. Forget the big box stores with big flooring prices. Call Lumber Liquidators now at 800-504-4176. That's 800-504-4176. Again, 800-504-4176.
There are two types of water heaters, thankless and tankless. The thankless kind work like this.
Mom, I'm throwing in a load of laundry.
Whoa, hold off on that. I'm hopping in the shower.
Is this a good time to turn on the dishwasher?
This is not a good time to turn on the dishwasher.
Renai's tankless water heaters, on the other hand, work this way.
I'm throwing in a load of laundry.
No problem. I'm hopping in the shower.
Renai's innovative tankless water heaters provide an endless supply of hot water whenever you need it, even for multiple tasks at the same time. Plus, they feature a space-saving design and ultra-efficient performance for monthly energy savings. So enjoy hot water that's always ready when you are.
Is this a good time to turn on the dishwasher?
Go for it.
And never discourage your children from washing dishes again. Renai tankless water heaters, the hot way to heat water. Learn more about Renai's industry-leading products at www.renai.us. That's RINNAI.us.
Do you use a CPAP device for sleep apnea? Are you tired of dragging your bulky in-home device everywhere you travel? Then you need to know about Transcend, the world's first portable mini CPAP device. It lets you sleep in total comfort anywhere you go. And right now, you can try it risk-free for 21 days by calling 1-800-500-5711. Transcend from minicpap.com is as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so small and so light, you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can sleep comfortably even while flying. Transcend is our smallest, lightest, and most portable mini CPAP design ever, offering all the performance of a bulky standard in-home device. Enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably. Call minicpap.com now for your 21-day in-home trial. 1-800-500-5711. Again, that's 1-800-500-5711.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio. 660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report is on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. I don't know how the United States government is going to get through this. I don't know how this is going to come down. This is pretty straightforward. I mean, there have been 2 investigations already. The FBI is currently going over the server. There are 2 problems with the server. One, if there's something on it. 2, if there's nothing on it. Either way, there's trouble. Nobody's talking about the thumb drive that the lawyer had. That thumb drive is also problematic. You see, you can't take a thumb drive and shove it into a secure system without all kinds of alarms going off. And yes, people being arrested. So the question is, how did those messages get transferred to a non-secure system? The only way that that can happen is through a process known as conspiracy. When it became obvious that President Nixon was in very deep trouble over Watergate, when John Mitchell was actually sentenced to prison for obstruction of justice. The possibility of President Nixon being thrown in jail as well was certainly on the table. But nobody in the United States wanted to see an American president thrown in jail. How do you believe we, the people of the United States, would feel about a former First Lady and a Secretary of State thrown in jail? Do you think that that would actually happen? The President of the United States would likely pardon her for all those offenses. But maybe not. Scooter Libby was somebody who got into political and legal hot water during the Bush administration. And while President Bush commuted his sentence, he didn't give him a pardon. And I don't know, given the circumstances between Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, and President Obama, I don't know just exactly what President Obama would do under those circumstances, but I would expect that Bill Clinton would pick up his telephone wherever he happened to be at the moment and call President Obama and say, "You are going to pardon my wife, aren't you?" And I would expect the answer to be a very ready and quick, "Yes, Mr. President, I certainly will." Would you like to see Hillary Clinton, former First Lady, former U.S. Senator, presidential candidate, and former Secretary of State actually go to jail? Yes or no? 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. You're listening to the Wells Report. Coming up in just a moment, news of Joe Biden. Yeah, Joe Biden, big in the news today. You'll find out why next. This is the Wells Report.
Are you ready to take your diabetes management to the next level? Put the Contour Next meter to the test and challenge your meter. The Contour Next meter makes testing easy and highly accurate with close to lab level results. And J.D. Power ranked Bayer's portfolio of meters highest in customer satisfaction with blood glucose meters. So take the challenge. Go to ContourNextChallenge.com, get a free meter, and enter to win free test strips. Contour Next. Accuracy you can trust.
Hey, it's Flo, and this is my impression of a less than ideal job candidate. Is the owner here? Oh, you're the owner, whatever. So I can only work Monday through Wednesday sometimes, and I gotta get out at 2 p.m. sharp. Band practice, you know? We're big on covers, like how Progressive covers both businesses and commercial auto. Anyway, sorry I'm late, but being late's sort of my thing.
All the coverage your business needs at progressivecommercial.com.
Resume? Nah, I don't really do those. I just like to come in and let my personality shine.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I was coming out of the hardware store when I saw him. An old man, late 70s, hunched over in the freezing rain, no hat on his head, limping across that slippery parking lot, and pushing a row of shopping carts toward the cart corral. It's heartbreaking. Millions of hardworking Americans simply don't have enough money to retire, so they just keep working and working and working until it's too late. Hi, I'm Chad Stubbs, President and CEO of Power Trader, and I believe that's just plain wrong. That's why I'm now distributing to the public absolutely free trials of the Power Trader Edge, the easy-to-use online stock trading program that helps regular folks make the money they need to retire fast. For your free trial, call 1-800-500-4744. Don't let the lack of money rob you of your retirement. Be one of the first 100 callers right now and get your free trial before it's too late. 1-800-500-4744. Don't miss out. Call now. 1-800-500-4744. 1-800-500-4744.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. You could say my friend Josh DeShong is a confident realtor, and why not? His sales numbers are huge. He sold our house, so we'll love him forever. But he wants you to know he is so sure that he can sell your house. He'll sit down with you, agree on a price, and a time frame. If it doesn't happen, he buys your house, and you can walk away at any time.
If you hire us and after 2 hours you're unhappy or we're not living up to your expectations, you can terminate without penalty. You don't owe me a dime. You can say, hey, Josh, you're fired. Get your sign and leave. It doesn't ever happen, but you can do it if you'd like to.
That's what I was going to say. I'm guessing these are not conversations you have often. The conversations you usually have are, hey, Josh, thank you for selling my house. Kind of like the conversation you and I had.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Make a decision to get serious about selling your home. Do it today. He did it for me. He can do it for you. 972-325-6644 or getsold.net. 972-325-6644 or getsold.net.
Did you know a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, you might not sleep so well. But now, SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs, and it's completely hands-free. For a limited time, you can try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Just call 1-800-400-5241.
SoClean changed the CPAP experience for the better. My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean destroys CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs with no hassle. Never have to clean your machine by hand again. There's no water, chemicals, or disassembly. Just pop in your mask, close the lid, and presto, your CPAP system is clean and fresh in minutes. Call SoClean.com to try it risk-free at home for 30 days. This is a limited time offer only available by calling 1-800-400-5241. That's 1-800-400-5241.
Have you ever considered joining the military but stopped because you couldn't deploy to a foreign country? Believe it or not, the state of Texas has its own military force that stands alongside the Texas National Guard, the Texas Air National Guard, and serves only inside the state of Texas. It's called the Texas State Guard. I'm Tech Sergeant John Wells of the 4th Air Wing, and we're looking for you to join us. Give us a call at 877-398-8350. That's 877-398-8350. If you love Texas as much as we do, join the 4th Air Wing of the Texas State Guard.
Hi, this is Eric Nadel for Sovereign European Sleep Systems. You know, I sleep in the best hotels all over the American League, but nothing compares to the sleep I get on the Sovereign bed I bought 9 years ago. Sovereign beds are not only exquisitely comfortable, they're incredibly durable because Sovereign uses only natural latex foam and individually pocketed coils. Stop in and lay down on one. Sovereign European Sleep Systems in Dallas and Southlake on the web at sovn.com.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. If it's important to you, we're talking about it right now on The Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. All of us are, well, I'm not going to say that. Let me rephrase. Many of us are frustrated with Hillary Clinton. I have always had trouble with her ego, her arrogance, her willingness to create a reality that is not shared by anybody of a lower class. What I'm trying to figure out, though, is regardless of how she comes across as a human being and campaign trail circumstances where she tells people wanting to take a selfie to wait in line and many of those other mistakes, I wonder if we would actually countenance seeing a former first lady thrown in jail. Could we see a former first lady and a former secretary of state actually being put in jail? 866-660-5759. Kurt in Bedford, what do you think?
I think, yes, we could see her in jail, but we would have to give her probably a crushed velvet orange-colored jumpsuit and probably somewhere, she'd need her quarters somewhere near the tennis courts.
Sure. I don't think that she plays tennis.
Well, she can always learn. She's got a little bit of weight to lose.
Yeah, there
no
you
offense,
go.
No
wow.
offense.
Wow. Nice going, Kurt. Jeez. Let me get to Yvonne in Louisville, Texas. Yvonne, welcome to the Wells Report. Hi.
Hi, JD.
Hey, how are you?
Doing fine. I don't think we'll ever see her in jail, but she has been so, as you said, arrogant, and there's been so many things between Benghazi and this, and all her other indiscretions or whatever, that I think she should go to jail. Yeah. But I
Yeah,
don't think it'll
should,
ever happen.
and whether or not we'd actually allow it, I think are two
Yeah.
different things. I'm really wondering about it though, because it comes down to James Comey, the FBI director. Because the FBI director is not your typical Washington agency CEO. Those guys that rise to the level of upper management in the FBI are amazing people. That's thing number one. And the most amazing of those rise to the level of director. You just don't get through that system thinking that politics is more important than the law. And I guarantee you that James Comey is not going to be one of those guys that allows that to happen. I'm reasonably sure that what's going to end up happening is that that if James Comey says, charges are warranted here, one of two things will happen. Either charges will be preferred against the Secretary of State for violating protocols on top secret information. And she will either end up in a situation where she will end up going to jail, or James Comey will quit in protest. And with him will go one of the last receptacles of real, honest integrity and American standards that exists in the government right now. One of the last ones. I don't know how this is going to come down. But a CIA agent, a former CIA clandestine services CIA agent, said that if he had tried to pull any of this off, he'd be in jail right now. And he's right. Why is Hillary walking around in Iowa and New Hampshire and South Carolina? I don't know. I don't have any idea. We'll see how long that lasts. Very interesting. Media mogul Rupert Murdoch said that Vice President Joe Biden has a really good chance if he decides to run for the Democrat presidential nomination. Murdoch tweeted late yesterday, looks like Biden's already running. Very likely he wins the nomination and be very hard to beat. Murdoch's comments come as Biden reportedly nears a decision on a third Oval Office bid. During a Labor Day speech in Pittsburgh on Monday, Biden heard chants of "Run, Joe, run." Got to talk to my wife about that. Beau Biden was invoked again. Beau reportedly urged his father to make a final attempt at becoming president. Joe Biden says that he is uncertain if he has the emotional energy for seeking a nation's highest office. Well, I can see that would be in the mix. He's 71 years old. Hillary Clinton is fading. I think that's probably a humane way of saying it. But sooner or later, somebody's going to come up to Hillary and say, Hillary, this isn't going to work. The polls are saying it. Bernie Sanders has jumped out to a 9-point lead over Hillary Clinton in New Hampshire. He's gaining ground on her among Iowa voters in the Democrat presidential race. This according to a pair of brand new NBC Marist polls. In New Hampshire, the Vermont senator gets the support of 41% of Democrat voters. Clinton gets 32%. Vice President Joe Biden, 16%. No other Democrat candidate receives more than 1%. In July's NBC Marist poll, Clinton was ahead of Sanders in the Granite State by 10 points, 42% to 32%, with Biden at 12%. Without Biden in the race, Sanders' lead over Clinton in the survey increases to 11 points, 49% to 38%. In Iowa, Clinton maintains her previous advantage over Sanders, but her lead has declined from 24 points in July to 11 points, but that always happens. As you get closer, it always happens. However, Biden sits at 20%. 866-660-5759. Let me get to Ashley in Little Elm, Texas. Ashley, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report. No, you're certainly welcome. I was asking whether or not we, the people of the United States, would countenance seeing a former First Lady, U.S. Senator, and Secretary of State thrown in jail. You think we would countenance that?
I think we would see that, but I think the end play would eventually be a pardon from the Obama administration.
I would think so too, but I don't know. And I'll tell you why I don't know, because I don't think that the Clintons and the Obamas like each other much.
I don't think that really matters at this point. She'd have her reputation, the Clinton legacy dissolved at that point, and you'd end up with what he wanted. But I don't see the advantage of making a martyr out of her. He'll say, "Oh, it was just a clerical issue. It wasn't a big deal. We're just going to go. We'll just let this one go." That's what I think.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. You know, except for a very brief interlude at a very low level, I mean, I have not minded the nation's business under any circumstance. Well, I guess it was a real circumstance. And I know better than that. I never wanted to hold any top secret information for any length of time whatsoever. I wanted it out of my possession immediately. Let me get to Robert in Dallas. Robert, thanks very much for joining us. Hi.
Yes, good evening. I can remember back during the Whitewater scandal when Hillary Clinton went to Madison Savings and Loan and got a loan for $354,000. And to the best of my knowledge, she never paid that back, plus all the stuff that they stole out of the White House. And I just feel like I would like to see a little jail time for the lady.
I know you'd like to see it, but do you think the American people would countenance it?
I think a vast majority of them would like it, but her fans certainly wouldn't countenance it, that's for sure.
I just don't know that
the Democratic Party, they're probably going to get a pardon from Obama.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know that that's a lead pipe cinch either. I don't know. I just don't know. Man, I got to tell you, there is not a lot of love lost between President Obama and Hillary Clinton. I'm just saying. Let me get to Norma in Arlington, Texas. What do you think, Norma?
I'm all for her going to prison if she did what it certainly appears that she did. And I think anyone that commits a felony, or especially to that degree, certainly deserves to go to jail, including the president. But I don't think we could afford to put a president there, because I think the parties would be competing with each other to put their president in jail. I think, definitely, I was a former Democrat, and I was a former delegate to the state convention for Hillary.
Wow.
But I think I think it's just totally. I switched when I saw that the tactics the Democratic Party used in the '08 election, and worked for the Republicans since then. Yeah, I definitely think she deserves to go to jail. But I thought Nixon deserved to go to jail.
Yeah,
and most of the people I knew did.
But I think you made the best argument for her going to jail with a president not going to jail because the political parties just wouldn't have it. I wonder if she has that level of backing in the Democrat Party now. I don't know. If I was Bill Clinton, I would call President Obama and say, you need to do something about this. And I guarantee you that President Obama does not care one bit what you think or what I think. But I guarantee you he would care about what President Bill Clinton thinks. I guarantee it. I mean, think about this for just a couple of seconds. Okay? Just think about this. You're standing there peacefully minding your own business, and the greatest president in your life walks up to you and asks you to do something. Do you say no? No, you don't say no. You say, yes, sir, I'd be honored. Be a privilege. And I believe that works in that very, very small circle of friends, that most exclusive club in the world, that being the club of presidents. So I would see that happening. Let me get to Alan in Arlington, Texas. Thanks for calling, Alan.
Hey, JD. I think if Hillary gets indicted and is looking at prison time, Obama pardons her. Otherwise, out of spite, she'll sing like a canary and take them all down.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder if she would do that. She certainly could. She certainly could. I remember back at the beginning of the first Hillary Clinton campaign. Do you remember when she said, "Oh yeah, we've got something that could stop the eventual President Obama's campaign cold"? Remember that? We've got something that'll stop his campaign cold. And then nothing. Remember? (866-660-5759), talking a little bit about Joe Biden. You know, Joe Biden is a likable guy, but is he a president of the United States? The only thing I can think of is that the only reason that they would put him up there is because he would lose the election but not lose his respect with the American people. That's the only thing I can think of. And that may be the only thing the Democrat Party can hope for out of this election. This is the Wells Report.
This is Arthur Brooks, author of The Conservative Heart for townhall.com. There's a common misconception in America today that conservatives are materialistic. The truth is, they aren't. And this confusion is a central political irony of our time. Progressives truly want to help the poor, but have tried to solve poverty primarily with government money. On the other hand, though conservatives often wrap our arguments in lackluster materialistic language about tax rates and GDP growth, our philosophy takes a uniquely holistic view of human dignity and earned success. We extol free enterprise, self-reliance, and ethical living, the foundations of good life, no matter how much money someone makes. And what about the role of government in helping the needy? Contrary to what we often hear, the vast majority of conservatives agree that the social safety net for truly needy people is a great achievement of modern civilization. Long-term, only a return to fiscal conservatism can guarantee the solvency of any sort of safety net. I'm Arthur Brooks.
The Good Contractors List is a free service designed to protect you.
We meet all of our home service contractors face to face and feel so confident in our final choices that we back their work with a $10,000 guarantee. We go the extra mile in our interview process to make sure that the contractor is not only honest in quality, but able to offer the most affordable and fair rates. For instance, how do you pick who you call for air conditioning? Did you know that the air conditioning industry is commonly known for misdiagnosis and unneeded upselling? The higher their overhead, the more money they need to stay in business. So they flash tempting offers to get their foot in the door, and the sales game is on. The air conditioning companies we choose are simply stable and proven companies that offer the highest quality at fair and honest rates. And to protect you, they've all agreed to do an absolutely free second opinion if you're being told that you have to replace your air conditioning unit. If you need AC or any other type of home service, visit thegoodcontractorslist.com first.
Contractors List.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a SelectQuote agent with a true story of how SelectQuote goes to bat for you buying term life insurance. A while back, a man called me who had prostate cancer. He asked if I could beat a very high quote another life insurance agent had given him. I said, let me see. Well, I took his pertinent information, then shopped the highly rated, price-competitive companies we represent, and found one who pre-approved him for a premium way below what he had been quoted. When it comes to term life insurance, no other company touches SelectQuote's experience and expertise in finding the right policy at the right price for almost anyone. How about you?
For your free quote, call 1-800-500-1690. That's 1-800-500-1690. 1-800-500-1690. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save.
The calendar says September. Kids are back in school. People are playing football, but it's still hot. And you may know this particularly in your own home because your AC is not working the way it should. Don't let this ride. Call my air conditioning company, Walker AC. Walker Air Conditioning and Heating, in business for 52 years, family owned, absolutely great folks. You know what they're going to do? They're going to come out and make your AC work. There's a lot of hot weather left. You need an AC system that works. You might need a new one, but you might not. They're not going to throw a new one at you when all you really need is some reliable repairs. And at Walker AC, they're all about reliable repairs, have been for over half a century. They're also all about new systems when you need one and having you save a bunch of money on those new systems. Same-day service if you have an emergency, reliable people, folks you can trust, and isn't that what you're looking for in an AC company? Walker AC, give them a buzz. 972-4-WALKER. 972-4-WALKER. Don't be hot. I know it's September, but don't be hot. 972-4-WALKER or walkerac.com.
Fall flooring season is on, and the Lumber Liquidators flooring experts can help you find the best deals on the hottest looks in flooring. Right now, we've got incredible deals on easy-to-install laminate engineered floors and more, like our thickest, beautiful acacia laminate for only 99 cents. Or get 10% off Schoen engineered pre-finished hardwood floors, plus Morningstar natural strand bamboo for only $269. Or get gorgeous, solid, hand-scraped mahogany hardwood at 27% off, with more amazing deals in your store. And 12-month special financing. Sales going on now. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
Got a lot on your to-do list? Now, during Kubota's Power to Do Great Things sales event, get a great deal on an L3301 or 3901 tractor with a live continuous running rear PTO. Now get financing as low as 0% APR for up to 5 years. And great customer instant rebates when you buy a new L3301 or 3901 and 2 implements. Now through September 30th, 2015. Call toll-free 1-888-465-8268 for details about cost and terms.
For more information or to find a participating dealer, visit Kubota.com.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. They've got this chart that shows who owns weapons in the Republican chase for the Republican nomination for president. Donald Trump has a pistol. Jeb Bush, no weapons that we're aware of. He does, however, have an NRA rating of A+. Okay? Marco Rubio has a revolver. Scott Walker has a shotgun and a hunting rifle. Ted Cruz, handgun, shotgun. Jim Gilmore has 4 semi-automatic pistols and what looks like a couple of shotguns. No details on Rand Paul. Rick Santorum has a pistol and a couple of shotguns that look like side-by-sides. Bobby Jindal, no details. George Pataki, shotgun. Mike Huckabee, AR-15. Looks like a, it looks like something along the line of a Mini 14. AR, did I say AR? Yeah, AR-15, Mini 14, and a hunting rifle. 6 guns are owned by Carly Fiorina's husband. Rick Perry has a small pistol. John Kasich has a pistol. Chris Christie, no idea about weaponry. Lindsey Graham has got himself a nice hunting rifle and a real good AR-15. I just realized that I think you can add up all of these together, and I still have more weapons than all of them. Maybe I should slow down. Nah, this is the Wells Report.
Sean Hannity thinks Hillary Clinton has more to worry about than her campaign.
If they find those lost 33,000 emails, the one she's deleted, you're going to not only find classified information, the whole Benghazi issue is going to be brought to an entire new level. And instead of worrying about being elected president, her biggest fear is going to be how much time she may have to spend in jail.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
How would you like to make up to $20,000 a month flipping houses with no risk? Hi, my name is Nick Vertucci, and over the last 2 years, my elite team of house flippers have flipped over 800 properties by using my 3-step flipping system that guarantees quick profits. And this year, we plan to double it. I'm growing my team in your area, and I'm looking for help. I have more cash available than deals right now, so I need you. All interested candidates, call now and take an inside peek of my flipping system. I'll rush you out a free copy of my Fortunes and Flipping CD kit that will show you how easy it is to get in, get out, and get paid immediately flipping houses if you come join my team.
Call 1-800-614-2043 now to get your free flipping kit. Call 800-614-2043 in the next 20 minutes, and Nick will also give you free tickets to a live training event, which includes a free meal coming to your area. Call 800-614-2043. That's 800-614-2043 and get your free kit now.
Have you put off seeing the dentist because you can't afford to go? Are big dental bills taking a big toll on your wallet? Would you like to have dental insurance but think it's too expensive? If you answered yes to any of these questions, call Physicians Mutual Insurance Company for a free information kit. See how you can help protect your teeth and your wallet for less than $1 a day. 1-800-944-0314. This is real dental insurance that can help cover over 300 procedures, all the ones you're most likely to need. Everything from cleanings and fillings to crowns and dentures. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. You can see any dentist you choose, and you'll never pay a deductible. Call in the next 10 minutes, and we'll rush you a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-944-0314. That's 1-800-944-0314. 1-800-944-0314.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM. KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. Hillary Clinton apologizing for using a private email server while Secretary of State.
I'm sorry that it has, raised all of these questions. I do take responsibility for having made what is clearly not the best decision.
Clinton making the comments on ABC's World News Tonight. 14 minor injuries following the evacuation of a London-bound British Airways jet which had an engine fire on the ground at McCarran Airport in Las Vegas Tuesday afternoon.
All passengers were evacuated quickly and safely. They were taken by buses back to this terminal, after which the airline transported them to area hotels.
Airport Aviation Director Rosemary Vassiliades, the 159 passengers and 13 crew members evacuated using emergency slides. Seattle teachers expected to mark the first day of school with picket lines. The teachers union voting last week to strike. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Stimulating talk. 660 AM. The Answer.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hi, this is Jon-David Wells from The Wells Report with Walt Parker here from InvestingMakesMeSick.com. Walt, I was looking at your new website. I've got to admit, I'm impressed.
We keep telling people there's more to investing than just stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities. Our new website is full of information about these alternative investments. You need to understand your investments. We also provide our We Come to You service and spend the time necessary to help people know they have other options than just stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and annuities. Website is great, but nothing beats a face-to-face discussion to help you with your investment decisions.
Most people say they listen to your ads for 2 years before calling. Don't wait 2 years. Call Walt right now, 972-463-3833. That's 972-463-3833, or visit their new website at investingmakesmesick.com. All investments involve risk. Investments may be considered speculative and incur substantial fees and expenses borne by the investor. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated.
Let's make an offer on that Aspen Street house.
That one doesn't have a home warranty.
Is that a problem?
Not if you like paying through the nose on home system breakdowns.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like if the air conditioner quits, want to pay for a new one? Do you know how to fix the water heater, the plumbing?
Got it. Let's only look at places with home warranties.
A home warranty from American Home Shield protects homeowners against unexpected covered repairs and breakdowns of major home systems and appliances. Who would want to move into a new home without one? Just ask your local real estate professional. Or for complimentary helpful information about a home warranty from American Home Shield, call now at 1-800-720-6695. Service requests are subject to a fee for each trade call. Some exclusions and limitations apply. An American Home Shield home warranty instantly gives home buyers confidence in their purchase. For complimentary helpful information, including terms, rates, and coverage, call 1-800-720-6695. 1-800-720-6695.
Sample comes with a 90-day order. Copays and deductibles may apply.
If you or someone you care for are using painful urinary catheters, Medical Direct Club can help. There's a new catheter that hurts less, and you can get a free sample with free shipping by calling now. Pain and urinary tract infections can be avoided if you're using urinary catheters. The new disposable catheters from Medical Direct Club hurt less due to an incredible new design that reduces pain by gliding easily and effortlessly. Old catheters can scrape and cut, causing pain and infection. These new catheters from Medical Direct Club are changing the lives of people who use urinary catheters. Medicare and your insurance will pay for up to 200 of these new catheters per month at little or no cost to you. Medical Direct Club handles all of the paperwork with your doctor and includes lifetime free shipping when you join. Membership and a free sample are free, so call Medical Direct Club now. 1-800-600-1127. That's 1-800-600-1127. End painful cathing today. Call 1-800-600-1127.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Well, it doesn't have to. Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity with your solution and the one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. On average, Josh sells a home every 32 hours and averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. He spends 200 times more money on marketing than the average agent. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net.
Dallas Baptist University Women's Night Out featuring Shonda Pierce, Thursday, October 15th, 2015, with Lindsay McCall and Karen Williams.
You ever tried to put on a pair of Spanx in an airplane bathroom? My body twisted in ways I didn't know could.
Focus on the funny. Get your women's group together for a fun night out. Women's Night Out at Northwood Church in Keller, Texas.
So, there I was. I didn't want to give in to the peer pressure, but they already had their bags of mascara out and their lipstick, and I'm like, what I got? Blistex.
Tickets on sale at itickets.com. Call 1-800-965-9324. For group tickets, go to getgrouptickets.com or call 844-381-4751. Buy 10 or more reserved seats at one time and save $5 per ticket. Buy 30 or more reserved seats at one time and save $5 per ticket and get 2 free tickets. From Salem Media Group, Inc. and Awakening Events.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. I have long decried the willingness for America's media to choose sides in the political fight. And I have talked about the incredible dangers of that happening. And that is exactly the direct result of many of the problems that we're having in this nation. And it has to do with the refusal of American media to report reality. I found out today that it's not just American media. The detention of 3 news journalists in Turkey last month came with terror charges. Similar allegations were leveled against 3 Al Jazeera reporters convicted last year in Egypt of fabricating news that would help the public relations of the banned Muslim Brotherhood. Eskinder Nega, an Ethiopian journalist, has been found guilty of terrorism in 2012 after publishing a critical piece about the government that he reported on. We're seeing this more and more. This abuse of national security is an excuse to rein in bad news, said David Kay, the United Nations Special Investigator on freedom of speech. Kay warned that the growing use of anti-terror legislation against journalists is making any kind of critical reporting impossible in some countries. By the way, we don't have to go far to see this happening. James Rosen of Fox News, charged in espionage, in an espionage case by Eric Holder before he left office. Bad news. On the one hand, national security is a legitimate basis for restricting freedom of expression. By the way, in case you're wondering, David Kay, the UN Special Investigator on Freedom of Speech, is a professor of law at the University of California, Irvine. Again, the national security interests of a nation are a legitimate basis for restricting freedom of expression, he says, but the state has to demonstrate that it's necessary to do so to achieve a legitimate objective. And they often abuse those rules for what I would say are illegitimate purposes. He cited Azerbaijan and Iran as examples where national security legislation has been widely used against journalists. Figures compiled by the Committee to Protect Journalists show that the number of reporters jailed worldwide steadily increased in recent years, from 81 in the year 2000 to 221 last year. They include the Washington Post reporter Jason Rezaian, who's being held in Iran on espionage charges. What we see in terms of worrying trends that's been picking up for a while is the use of overbroad anti-terror law to prevent coverage and detain journalists, according to Robert Mahoney, the deputy director of New York's CPJ, the Committee to Protect Journalists. It is not just the evildoers that participate in this ideology. The Israeli parliament has passed a law banning journalists working for the country's public broadcasting authority from expressing their opinions on the air. The law, passed last week, drew criticism from journalists who accused the government of trying to stifle dissent. The Israeli parliament's law says that broadcasts should avoid one-sidedness, prejudice, expressing personal opinions, giving grades, and affixing labels. The Israeli Press Council urged Parliament to cancel the law, saying it violates free speech. Cabinet Minister Ophir Akunis said the law only applies to newscasts. He told Channel 2 TV that some journalists critical of the government, quote, aren't being professional and are doing it for political reasons, unquote. It remains unclear on how the law will be enforced. Well, once again, we don't have to go very far to see how that is done. In this country, until 1996 and earlier, 1982, the FCC enforced the laws regarding the difference between news and editorial content. There was no problem with people editorializing, as long as you either said it was an editorial or you made it very plain by putting a small bit of script up on television, on the television screen, called a chyron, in case you're wondering. That is a process. That is and there are a lot of rules that most of us, when we were starting our broadcasting careers, had to deal with that we thought were stupid. But strangely enough, the Communications Act of 1934 has shown its resilience time and time again, at least to this broadcaster. When we gave away those regulations that set the ground rules for news reportage in the United States, when we gave those away, we gave away a fair and impartial media. Then that was a mistake. It is one that I try to remedy on this broadcast with varying degrees of success, all dependent on the perceptions of the viewer in the case of YouTube and the listener on the radio. Michael Gettler is the ombudsman for the public broadcasting system. We were just discussing how Israel bans journalists from voicing their opinions in newscasts. Perhaps we, the people of the United States, should demand the same thing from PBS. Michael Gettler wrote a piece called More Self-Inflicted Wounds. This column is not about me, but I start by acknowledging that I am sometimes of a technological dinosaur. I still read printed newspapers. I don't have a Twitter account or a Facebook page. But the reason I don't engage in social media is only in part because I'm a little challenged technologically. The real reason is that I'm the ombudsman at PBS, and I don't want to be glib or dash off something on Twitter I would quickly regret, or that could be easily misunderstood, or could be used to either discredit me and my work at PBS. I had the same policy about pre-social media venues when I was the ombudsman of the Washington Post. So that brings me to the real self-inflicted wound, which was a tweet by PBS NewsHour co-anchor Gwen Ifill. It happened last Wednesday after it became known that President Obama had secured the necessary number of Democrat backers in the Senate to ensure the nuclear agreement with Iran could not be blocked by opponents. What Gwen Ifill had tweeted out was, quote, "Take that, Bibi," unquote, a reference to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Has strongly opposed the agreement, came to Washington at the invitation of Republican Speaker of the House John Boehner to argue against it in front of Congress. Ifill added the comment when she retweeted an illustration from an Obama administration Twitter account that is designed to support the case for an agreement. The width, height chosen as options are the same with the original image width and height. Take that, Bibi. With the Iran deal, Iran's program is significantly less dangerous. That's what this famous drawing looks like now. And that was the drawing, I don't know whether you're aware of, that Bibi Netanyahu used in his speech before Congress. It was a speech before the United Nations. It had a bomb with a fuse lit and so on. So Gwen Ifill's tweets went viral instantly, picked up by bloggers, websites, and a large number of Twitter followers. It produced a lot of angry emails, all going to, guess who? Michael Gettler, the PBS ombudsman. I asked Ifill in the NewsHour for a response and explanation. She explained in an email to me and in a tweet to many others that she was RTing the Iran deal tweet and added she should have been clearer that it was their argument, not mine, unquote. Well, hardly, not with the take that, Bibi. One would have to lean way over backwards to give her credit or the benefit of the doubt that she was simply shedding light on the administration's view of proportions in the Netanyahu arguments. But to personalize it by saying take that, Bibi, is, in my book, inexcusable for an experienced journalist who is the co-anchor of a nightly news program watched by millions of people over the course of any week. It is not the first time that I have written about Ifill in tweets. 3 years ago, a tweet supporting a former colleague who made an inflammatory remark, apparently unaware that his microphone had not been turned off, also brought about lots of criticism. Ifill is a very experienced journalist, very quick, alert, knowledgeable, and with an engaging on-air personality. She also has a talented eye for the ironies and political turnabouts in the daily flow of news that contributes to her presence. But PBS and the NewsHour are bigger than any individual, and tweeting does not appear to be a tool in these cases that is appropriate for maintaining credibility, which is the bedrock for news organizations. Michael Gettler gets it completely right. In the past, the ancient past, pre-1982, there would very likely be a notice of apparent violation sent to Gwen Ifill by the FCC. Now, please understand, there was no Twitter in 1982. But that could carry a price tag of somewhere close to $10,000. And as all broadcasters at that time had to have their own license to participate in an on-air broadcast, a lack of that license would take her off the air. So, when it comes down to doing the right thing, it comes down to people like Michael Gettler telling people like Gwen Ifill, hey, there's a line there, and you crossed it. A word to the wise is sufficient, and I'm sure that that will be the case for Gwen, handed out by a very benevolent Michael Gettler. On the other hand, President Obama has some very interesting friends, and they cross into this sphere of propriety in American media. I'll explain what's happening next. You're listening to The Wells Report.
This is Arthur Brooks, author of The Conservative Heart for townhall.com. There's a common misconception in America today that conservatives are materialistic. The truth is, they aren't. And this confusion is a central political irony of our time. Progressives truly want to help the poor, but have tried to solve poverty primarily with government money. On the other hand, though conservatives often wrap our arguments in lackluster materialistic language about tax rates and GDP growth, our philosophy takes a uniquely holistic view of human dignity and earned success. We extol free enterprise, self-reliance, and ethical living, the foundations of good life, no matter how much money someone makes. And what about the role of government in helping the needy? Contrary to what we often hear, the vast majority of conservatives agree that the social safety net for truly needy people is a great achievement of modern civilization. Long term, only a return to fiscal conservatism can guarantee the solvency of any sort of safety net. I'm Arthur Brooks.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. I love birthdays, and our friends at Abacus Foundation Repair are celebrating 15 years of serving North Texas with the highest quality foundation repair, and they want to give something to you. On their 15th anniversary, $1,000 off any job with 10 pilings or more. Not only are you going to save $1,000, you'll have the peace of mind knowing that with Abacus Foundation, you're getting the elite state-of-the-art solution for your home. Millennium composite pilings. Nobody else has them. Abacus has an A-plus business rating from the Better Business Bureau, 6 straight years running on that. The expansion and contraction of Texas soils mean a lot of us have foundation issues. You don't want to call the wrong people. Call the right people first for the absolute best foundation repair. Affordable, reliable home warranty that you can pass on to subsequent owners of your home. Give them a call today, 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000, abacusfoundationrepair.com. Ask about $1,000 off, abacusfoundationrepair.com.
Are you ready to take your education to the next level? Arizona State University now offers over 90 top-tier degree programs, 100% online. With ASU's highly ranked online programs, you'll earn the same degree as our on-campus students, with the ability to learn wherever you want, whenever you want. Same world-renowned faculty, same leading education, same global recognition from one of the top universities in the world. Call 1-800-505-8965. That's 1-800-505-8965.
I'm Jamie from Sherman Oaks, and I just graduated with my degree from Arizona State University. I chose ASU because I received the quality education I deserve in the major I wanted, all from my home.
Jamie's not the only one to earn a degree from ASU. There are over 90 degree programs offered 100% online from one of the top universities. Now's the time to learn more about earning your degree online from Arizona State University. Call 1-800-505-8965. That's 1-800-505-8965.
Are you a business owner who is jealous of some of the great commercials you hear right here on 660 AM The Answer? Do you feel a little left out when a clever commercial plays and you wish it was about you instead? Nothing's worse than hearing a catchy commercial from a competitor who is raking in new customers each day while you still aren't advertising on the radio. It's not too late. I can still help you. My name is Brad Ballard, and I work here at 660 AM The Answer. Call me today at 214-561-9116, and I can turn you into the company everyone wants to work with. That's 214-561-9116. It's much more affordable than you might think. Don't let another competitor pass you by. Call me today at 214-561-9116, and we'll get you on the radio right away. I'll meet with you personally to brainstorm the best message possible that will rise above the rest. It's time to grow your business and sound like one of the big boys. So don't wait. Call me at 214-561-9116.
Tell me something. How's your back? Do you have neck pain? Hi, I'm Dr. Chad Glines, DC with Genesis Back and Neck, and I want you to know something. There's help out there for you.
My name is Steve. I had 10 herniated discs in my back, and that's pretty bad. I basically couldn't walk without help. Dr. Chad and spinal decompression saved me. I can't stress that enough. To be mobile again, to have freedom of movement is pretty much a miracle for me. And I'm so grateful to Genesis Back and Neck.
That just blesses me to hear that. Imagine no addictive drugs, no invasive surgery. Spinal decompression is safe. It's FDA cleared. It's not painful, and it has a huge success rate. At Genesis, we accept most major insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. Please stop hurting and call me. 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922 or online at genesisback.com.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells, telling you a little bit about the state of, I don't know what to call it, the very dangerous abandonment of mandates for truth that our mainstream media has seen fit to pursue. Ben Wolfgang writes the very sad counterpoint to this, not necessarily a counterpoint, but I would say the last serious chapter of this particular report. Nearly 7 years into his tenure, President Obama remains on friendly terms with some powerful figures in the media. In recent weeks, President Obama has gotten cozy with the top executives at major U.S. newspapers, headlining a Democrat Party fundraiser at the home of Las Vegas Sun owner Brian Greenspan, who swears he's a Republican. Brian. I know Brian. He also dined at the Anchorage home of Alaska Dispatch news publisher Alice Rogoff during a 3-day trek across the state last week. On the surface, the events didn't seem to influence either the paper's coverage of the president during his stays in Las Vegas and Alaska, but journalism specialists say they may have raised questions in the eyes of average Americans about the fairness of the news media. I don't know that that's the case. My job in this is to provide you with this look, this professional understanding of what should be happening and what is most assuredly not happening. And then to do something about it on the air every day. As I said, I meet with varying degrees of success. Only you know what those degrees are. A distinction must be drawn between the business leaders at an individual media outlet and the reporters who work beneath them, said John Watson, a director of journalism at the American University. Here's a news flash for you. People who own newspapers and the people who publish newspapers aren't journalists. They're business people, said Mr. Watson. Owners and publishers aren't journalists, even though they own and employ journalists. What a strange quote. Owners and publishers aren't journalists, even though they own and employ journalists. You know, I'm a talk show host for Salem Communications, but Salem Communications does not own me. And you know what? They made it abundantly clear that they don't own me. In my work contract, it says that I have sole control over the content of this broadcast. That is something that most media companies would not extend. But it's something that I am exquisitely aware of and try to take very good care of as much as I possibly can. President Obama, very chummy with various news industry personnel. I can't imagine that it does not have an effect on the way the president is indeed reported on by not just those news edifices, those news institutions, but downstream to lots of other reporters and publishers around the nation. This is the Wells Report.
Hi, I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List, and this is the Good Contractors List Word of the Month. What is self-esteem? We all want to feel good about ourselves and think that we're good people. But the truth is, we're not good. Not one of us. The nature we're born with is selfish, rebellious, and we are inherently evil. You can't try hard enough to overcome the old nature. And the more you focus on trying to fix what you can't fix, the more you're going to get discouraged. If you've truly given your life to Jesus, then you need to stop trying to improve your self-esteem. Jesus didn't give his life so you could feel good about yourself. He suffered the cross so that he could make you a new creature, free from yourself. Put your esteem in Jesus and forget about yourself. If he is in control, then you'll end up in places yourself would never take you. I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List.
The Word of the Month has been brought to you by thegoodcontractorslist.com.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a SelectQuote agent with a true story of how SelectQuote goes to bat for you buying term life insurance. A while back, a man called me who had had prostate cancer. He asked if I could beat a very high quote another life insurance agent had given him. I said, let me see. Well, I took his pertinent information, then shopped the highly rated, price-competitive companies we represent, and found one who pre-approved him for a premium way below what he had been quoted. When it comes to term life insurance, no other company touches SelectQuote's experience and expertise in finding the right policy at the right price for almost anyone. How about you?
For your free quote, call 1-800-500-1690. That's 1-800-500-1690. 1-800-500-1690.
Check. Wow. You want to do this? Do you want to do the Pope? Do you want to do the Pope? No? Yeah, okay. Yep. Here we go. Are the days of John Boehner as Speaker of the House numbered? On the next edition of the Wells Report, we're going to talk about how people in his close circle of friends are beginning to wonder whether or not John Boehner will even run to be the Speaker of the House for the next congressional session. Should he run for that? Should he run for that prestigious office? Should he take what he's got and back away, let somebody else take the reins? We'll discuss either of those eventualities and maybe some we haven't thought of yet next time on the Wells Report. We'll discuss either one of those eventualities and maybe a few we haven't thought of yet next time on the Wells Report. Is that okay? Mark Davis, good Wednesday morning, my brother. Thanks very much for this opportunity to come by and talk about John Boehner. Are John Boehner's days as Speaker of the House numbered? Even his friends are beginning to say so. Will we see someone else wielding the gavel in that august chamber known as the House of Representatives? A lot of us, me included, certainly hope so. I'll explain why next time on the Wells Report.
Can't afford to pay off all your debt. Do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Debt Relief Advocates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-600-7841. That's 1-800-600-7841. 1-800-600-7841.
Hi, I'm Larry Patterson, owner of Glass Doctor. In our disposable society, we're conditioned to throw out the whole thing when just one part goes bad. Like when the insulated glass windows in your home get condensation between the panes. You don't need to replace the whole window. The specialists at Glass Doctor can install new insulated glass in your existing frames with a lifetime warranty for a lot less than you might think. To see how quick and easy it is, visit glassdoctor.com today. That's glassdoctor.com.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah!
Here's Jungle Jack Hanna for Cosequin. There's nothing like seeing happy animals, but sometimes they just can't move like they used to, just like me. That's why the Columbus Zoo, voted #1 in America, uses the #1 brand to help our animals along. Cosequin. From Jungle Jack's animals to your pets, Cosequin is the #1 vet-recommended brand of joint health supplements. I'm Jungle Jack Hanna telling you Cosequin is the very best. Cosequin, available from your veterinarian, pet retailers, and online at drugstore.com.
660 AM, The Answer. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Hi. Somebody needed to say this, and the Washington Examiner, Michael Barone, decided to do so. Michael Barone has written a piece regarding Black Lives Matter. This is a very serious problem here. I don't know exactly where this is going to go. But what we're doing is we're seeing people empowered to do whatever violence necessary to bring about whatever end is necessary in the mind of those people perpetrating the violence. It's not good. Barone says this. He says he's seen this movie before for the last 25 years. He never thought he'd have to watch it again. But it's playing, not in theaters, but over the mainstream media, with rave reviews from the president and his administration. The theme of the movie is there's an epidemic of racist white policemen gunning down innocent black people. The movie's message, implicit but unambiguous, is the police must be restrained from vigorous enforcement of the law. And that is exactly what's happening. That was the message of the Black Power movement half a century ago with the original Black Panthers. It is the message of the hashtag Black Lives Matter movement today. Consider their demands. Some are perfectly benign and even obvious. Who could possibly be against better training for police officers? We already have an independent, usually elected group of prosecutors. The law already limits the use of force by police. But the most important demand from Black Lives Matter is the first: end broken windows policing. The evidence that this is already happening is in the cost of black lives. The New York Times noticed so far this year, murders are up 76% in Milwaukee, 60% in St. Louis, 56% in Baltimore, 44% in Washington, D.C. Murders are up, arrests are down. There is, as Manhattan Institute scholar Heather MacDonald writes, a reluctance to act, which is affecting police departments across the country, as virtually every tool in an officer's tool chest, from traffic stops to public order maintenance, is vilified as racist. This is very, very sad. It's terrible, in fact. You know what the number one problem is in major cities across the nation? Getting people to apply to be police officers. My son Mitchell was recently in town applying at a police agency. The class that he was a part of, the group of people that he was a part of, was the smallest in memory. And people noticed. And that's for a reason. Would you be a police officer right now if you could? In Baltimore, the April 15th death of Freddie Gray in a police van inspired mass protests, prompted police to abandon active patrolling. Arrests suddenly plunged 60% below 2014 rates. There were 58 murders in Baltimore until April 15th of this year, up from 49 from April 16th to April 23rd. There were 157 murders in the city, up from 88 in 2014, with 45 murders in July alone. Almost all of the victims were black. Michael Barone writes in the Washington Examiner. Those insisting that Black Lives Matter and shouting down politicians like former Baltimore Mayor Martin O'Malley for saying that all lives matter are apparently unfazed by the realities of what they're up to. More black deaths, not less. More black deaths, not less. Speaking of Freddie Gray, the city of Baltimore has reached a $6.4 million settlement in a lawsuit filed by Freddie Gray's family. The settlement will go to the city's Spending Oversight Board for formal approval. Gray's death triggered violent protests accompanied by devastating looting and arson in Baltimore, prompted a national outcry. It ultimately led to the firing of Police Commissioner Anthony Batts. The proposed settlement agreement is going before the Board of Estimates, should not be interpreted as a judgment on the guilt or innocence of the officers facing trial, said Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake in a statement. Oh, no. No, we routinely pay $6.4 million in settlements for police officers doing their jobs perfectly. No one should think, for example, that just because we're paying $6.4 million out to the family of the person in the custody of these 6 police officers, should anyone believe that these officers had done anything wrong. That, unfortunately, will change the fortunes of these police officers before you could say, change your venue. Stephanie Rawlings Blake. Wow. She did say something that was completely accurate. This settlement is being proposed solely because it's in the best interest of the city and avoids a costly and protracted litigation that would only make things more difficult. Yeah, you're right. The mayor's office said the city would pay $2.8 million to Gray's family in the fiscal year that began July 1st. The balance would be paid in the following fiscal year. Last week, a judge ruled that 6 police officers charged in connection with Gray's death can be tried separately. The 6 officers have pled not guilty to charges ranging from false imprisonment to involuntary manslaughter. Police has said the confrontation with Gray began April 12th in a high-crime area of the city after he and another man spotted officers and suddenly started running away. Gray, arrested after a foot chase, was handcuffed and restrained inside a police vehicle. He suffered a severe spinal injury and died a week later. Wow. Michael Barone continues, some Black Lives Matter activists go further, calling for and indeed seeing, the murder of police. Some wear shirts with the words, Assata taught me, a reference to the woman, now a fugitive in Cuba, convicted in the 1977 murdering of a New Jersey state trooper. Black Lives Matter activists march outside the Minnesota State Fair chanting, pigs in a blanket, fry 'em like bacon. That was a day after the Democrat National Committee, meeting in Minneapolis, approved a resolution condemning extrajudicial killings and affirming that Black Lives Matter, and hailing a generation of young African Americans who feel totally dismissed and unheard as they are crushed between unlawful street violence and unjust police violence. All of this occurring as President Obama crosses into his 7th year as president. How in heaven's name could this be? Listen to this. We need to start killing these officers, shouted a crowd as police arrested a violent woman in Madison, Wisconsin, an ultra-liberal university town where, incidentally, blacks are arrested at 10 times the rate of whites. How could this be? Ultra-liberal, what do you mean? Don't you mean these are Republicans that are arresting all these people? No. Liberals arresting all these people at 10 times the rate of whites? Really? Across the country, some people seem to be acting on that advice. Last December, after the protests of the death in custody of a man on Staten Island, 2 New York Police Department officers were shot and killed in Brooklyn. They were executed. On August 2nd, a policeman was killed during a routine traffic stop in Memphis. On August 29th, a sheriff's deputy was gunned down in Houston. On August 31st, a police officer was killed in Fox Lake, Illinois. A Rasmussen poll conducted on August 31st and September 1st found that 58% of Americans believe there is a war on police today. The violence has evoked little response from President Obama, who weighed in unnecessarily on the arrest of scholar Henry Louis Gates in July of 2009 and the death of Trayvon Martin in March of 2012. In August 2014, he said the death of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, after he robbed a convenience store, charged, attacked, and tried to steal the weapon of a policeman, awakened our nation to a reality blacks already understood. Which is what? Certainly not that if you attack a police officer and try to steal his weapon, he'll shoot you. Can't be that. The tragedy is that broken windows policing of Black Lives Matter decries. That's the policing style that Black Lives Matter says is a bad idea. Has saved thousands of black lives. In New York from 1990 to 2014, murders declined in New York. Get this. From 2,262 to 333. From 987 in that same time period in LA to 251. From 943 deaths to 413, less than half, in Chicago. Now, they're up again. I've seen that movie before, says Michael Barone, when violence crime tripled between 1965 and 1975. I hope it ends differently this time. Michael, I don't know how it's going to end. All I can say is that violence against police is still happening on a regular basis. All I can say is that there is another way of going about this. If, for example, the criticism is on stereotypic crime affecting a certain demographic of American population, perhaps that population should stop acting in such stereotypic ways. Perhaps neighborhoods that suffer a high arrest rate should take responsibility for that high arrest rate instead of complaining about it. What we need to do is we need to realize that we are all in this together. It can be a much better place to live than how we find it now. But in order to find that better circumstance, you first have to want things to be better and actually do something about it instead of complaining about the fact that they're not better. It's going to take actual work. You're going to have to demand that kids behave properly. Isn't it amazing that when we actually see examples of that right here in North Texas, someone will stand up and use the words Uncle Tom in sequence, as if there's some nobility in the street cred that comes with being pushed around by a police officer because you have committed a crime or don't know when to be polite. Perhaps those things should change, and perhaps the rest of it will change as well. This is the Wells Report.
The Mark Davis Show. Mark Davis Show.
As European nations and the U.S. look at accepting refugees from the hellholes of the Middle East, our hearts are properly moved. But will this become a case of anchor adults, men and women allowed into various countries, then saying, hey, I got 20 relatives. They have a right to be with me. Also, 5 days to the Trump rally, 1 week to the next GOP debate. We'll preview both. Join us for our Wednesday morning show.
The Mark Davis Show. Weekday mornings at 7, right before Mike Gallagher at 10 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity, one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. Josh averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. Josh's clients voted, and both D Magazine and Texas Monthly ranked him as the best real estate agent in Dallas. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net and start packing.
Okay, you're on. We're here live from Niagara Falls for this year's Spring Festival. Wait, what?
That'll do it.
Great job, Will. You two, what are you doing?
Sorry, Canada. You had a leak.
Look, it's Will Nell and Fred Thompson from American Leak Detection.
American Leak Detection.
Guys, come over here. Come here. All right. Here with me now are the guys with American Leak Detection. Please explain yourselves.
Well, at American Leak Detection, we have been detecting and repairing hidden leaks in your home for more than 25 years, big or small.
And all without damaging your home. We can even repair leaks in your swimming pools. Hey, looks like DFW needs us. Just go to AmericanLeakDetection.com to schedule us to come out. That's AmericanLeakDetection.com.
You know, I'm not a genius about money. I love my credit cards, and they love me. I was using them as a source of income, and then I got behind in my payments, and creditors were calling. I figured I had a problem, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I heard about Trinity, so I called and talked to a counselor. In half an hour, we worked out a plan. Now I've got one easy monthly payment, a lower interest rate, and I'm getting out of debt.
If you're in an endless cycle of paying on credit card balances that never seem to go away, then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity will consolidate your accounts, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Call 1-800-758-5360. That's 1-800-758-5360. Call 1-800-758-5360.
Hi, everybody. Eric Nadel here for Savin European Sleep Systems. This time of year, my life is crazy. Shuttling from hotel to hotel, keeping odd hours. There are lots of reasons I look forward to coming home. My wife, Jeannie, and dog Kirby are high on that list, but the hidden reason is that's where my Savin bed resides. I know I'll be able to catch up on all that lost sleep from all those cramped airplanes and inferior hotel beds. Check out Savin in Dallas and Southlake. Go to Savin.com, SOVN.com.
Fall flooring season is on, and the Lumber Liquidators flooring experts can help you find the best deals on the hottest looks in flooring. Right now, we've got incredible deals on easy-to-install laminate engineered floors and more, like our thickest, beautiful acacia laminate for only 99 cents. Or get 10% off Shown engineered pre-finished hardwood floors, plus Morningstar natural strand bamboo for only $269. Or get gorgeous, solid, hand-scraped mahogany hardwood at 27% off, with more amazing deals in your store. And 12-month special financing. Sales going on now. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
I spend my days helping others. It's rewarding, just not always financially. So I got TIAA CREF. They were founded to help people like me meet our financial goals. They've got so many industry accolades, it's unreal. I like taking care of people. Sometimes that even includes myself.
Intelligent investing for the long term. Just what you'd expect from a company that's created to serve and built to perform. Visit TIAA.org. TIAA CREF Individual and Institutional Services, LLC. This testimonial is an act of betrayal. Investing involves risk. Individual results will vary.
660 AM. The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. 2 Houston police officers were involved in a shootout after a passing car fired at them this morning. Thankfully, no one was injured in the incident. Cops have 2 suspects in custody, according to the Houston Chronicle. The uniformed officers reportedly returned fire after they were shot at by someone in a moving vehicle around 3:30 in the morning earlier today. Witnesses heard 8 shots before the suspects were taken into custody behind the Purple Azul nightclub, according to KHOU. The encounter comes just 2 days after a pair of Las Vegas officers were fired on in their cruiser, with one officer sustaining a non-life-threatening injury during the encounter. Police in Aurora, Colorado received a threatening phone call Sunday evening with a disguised voice proclaiming, "Let us catch you by yourself," and its shot fired. Police have increasingly been targeted by gunfire during the past several months, with numerous incidents turning deadly. Lieutenant Charles Joe Gunowitz was shot and killed in Illinois last week in a case that spurred a furious manhunt for 3 suspects. Texas Sheriff's Deputy Darren Goforth was killed filling up his cruiser at a gas station August 28th. Got to take care of our cops. Stop it. Stop shooting our police officers. The executive producer of the police officers. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Stifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is Jon-David Wells. God bless you and yours tonight. We'll see you tomorrow for another edition of the Wells Report.
This is Arthur Brooks, author of The Conservative Heart for townhall.com. There's a common misconception in America today that conservatives are materialistic. The truth is, they aren't. And this confusion is a central political irony of our time. Progressives truly want to help the poor, but have tried to solve poverty primarily with government money. On the other hand, though conservatives often wrap our arguments in lackluster materialistic language about tax rates and GDP growth, our philosophy takes a uniquely holistic view of human dignity and earned success. We extol free enterprise, self-reliance, and ethical living, the foundations of good life, no matter how much money someone makes. And what about the role of government in helping the needy? Contrary to what we often hear, the vast majority of conservatives agree that the social safety net for truly needy people is a great achievement of modern civilization. Long-term, only a return to fiscal conservatism can guarantee the solvency of any sort of safety net. I'm Arthur Brooks.
Here's a crazy idea from Cash Call Mortgage. Take the mortgage you closed in the last year and look at redoing it at today's 15-year fixed 2.875% rate and APR with no closing costs. Just call 855-875-CASH, and with no cost or obligation, we'll tell you how much your payment could drop with the do-over refi. And you won't pay any points, deposits, or fees. None. It's so easy. Just do the regular paperwork, most of which you already did for your last refi, and we'll do the rest. So make the cash call at 855-875-CASH for today's 15-year fixed 2.875% rate and APR with absolutely no closing costs. The do-over refi, only from Cash Call Mortgage. Call 855-875-CASH and see for yourself.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. 1 City Boulevard, West Suite 200, Orange, California 92868. Equal housing lender. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions. Subject to loan underwriting. Rates may change without notice. NMLS number 128231.
Got a lot on your to-do list? Now during Kubota's Power to Do Great Things sales event, get a great deal on an L3301 or 3901 tractor with a live continuous running rear PTO. Now get financing as low as 0% APR for up to 5 years. And great customer instant rebates when you buy a new L3301 or 3901 and 2 implements. Now through September 30th, 2015. Call toll-free 1-888-465-8268 for details about cost and terms. For more information or to find a participating dealer, visit Kubota.com.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. Kentucky County Clerk Kim Davis freed after being jailed for refusing to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples, citing religious beliefs. GOP presidential candidate Mike Huckabee offering support.
We will stand with Kim, we will stand with the Constitution, and we will stand with our faith, and will not be bullied, no matter even if they incarcerate us.
Davis has been ordered not to interfere with her deputies issuing licenses. 14 minor injuries following the evacuation of a London-bound British Airways jet on the ground at McCarran Airport in Las Vegas following an engine fire.
2276 Heavy, we are evacuating on the runway. We have a fire, I repeat, we are evacuating.
159 passengers, 13 crew members using emergency slides in the evacuation. Police recovering the spear taken Sunday from Hawaii's famous King Kamehameha statue, found Tuesday in overgrowth near the monument. Fox News, we report, you decide.
You're listening to 660 AM, The Answer.
This is Arthur Brooks, author of The Conservative Heart for townhall.com. There's a common misconception in America today that conservatives are materialistic. The